mistakes over and over again.
Yes, yes. Listen to the ever-loving commentary of Inazuman citizens and Catherine airing out. Guys, we're gonna play some more Genshin Impact. I'm just gonna keep enjoying the scenery though. Sometimes it's fun to get lost in it. So, we have a new event because they are ceaseless with the events. We'll check this out in a bit. We're gonna finish Waterborne Poetry, which is ending in a mere 2 days. As you know, I like to delay things as much as possible. And in addition, they gave us wriothsleys chapter, which I did unlock. Pretty sure I unlocked. Yeah, we have wriothsleys chapter. Now, I'm not going to do his chapter this recording session. No, we're going to cover the events and then finally do at least one, if not two, of these hangouts. We're gonna hang out with Faruzan and maybe Layla. Depends on how long Faruzan takes. Also, it depends on my headphones. I definitely forgot to charge them, so we're gonna go until they run out of battery power, essentially. That could be immediately. That could be hopefully in a few hours' time. I need to remember how do we do this stuff. Let's finish with the mini-games. Let's go straight to the mini-games, yeah. We'll do this one first. We'll do the mini-games and then we'll do the chapter finisher. I believe we're on the third and final part of the event story. And I am excited to be back on SNESing.
Taking a stroll in the middle of a downpour.
But I wanted to give Genshin its due.
But it's best to dry your clothes as soon as possible.
Genshin does force my hand with the time-limited events. If I'm going to capture as much of it as I can of this one-off journey, we have to be proactive about it. And I'm thinking it's time we get some stuff done. Because I would like to do these, like the event coverage, and then also... Oh, I don't want a match. And even though this was multiplayer.
Clear weather all around brightens the heart.
Huh. Weird. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, I want to get back to covering events and then doing more of the sub-side quests that we still have to do. The sub-side quests and just general land exploration. I've got plenty left in Sumeru. To do, and I want to get around Fontaine, you know? I kind of want to... Oh, yeah, I forgot we can hold this. I want to get, Damn, they introduced this new pot and they didn't even make it threatening. I don't know what I expect. Why would I expect challenge in my events? The game is supposed to be very beginner friendly. And that's why it's so popular with the masses. Anyway, while we're going through the motions here, I want to do more of exploring around the map. That's what I play Genshin for, is the map exploration. I'm too lazy to move. How did I miss that? Ah, okay, we got this again. I never pay attention. I don't even remember what activates that rapid fire ability. That's okay. It's not very important. Okay, final stage. We are almost done. Everything's been unlocked. We've seen all there is. This game has been explored, experienced, and now they're putting it all together. Apparently holding pots will constantly appear. Also, apparently it's Nahida's birthday today, so we gotta make sure we use her for no particular reason. I mean, I always use her anyway in my main party, right? Because I needed a Dendro character. And she's about as good as a Dendro character gets. Thought for sure that would have moved. Not worried about points. Apparently that counted as going through the ring. It's just easier if you don't move from the center, right? We've already hit the score that we need to hit. There's still a minute on the clock for this. Well, I guess we'll do it. We'll run it out. Oh my goodness. How terrible of me. Concentration is unreal. Whew. Wonder how long that actually goes on for. 5,000 points. We are free from breaking jars. Thankfully. Not the most engaging of mini games that Genshin has offered throughout its now long storied history. This is the battle thing, right? Let's get rid of this stuff here. Adventure log, commissions, we're already done all 4. Nice. So I can go pick that up when we're done. The guide has so many things. It's like, please do all the things that you haven't done yet. In due time, guide, in due time. Alright, combat. I don't expect anything fancy. I don't even, what else? I don't remember, like, we can ignore the gimmick on this, right? I'm pretty sure we just don't care. We just use our main damage party, and then a lot of damage is dealt. A lot of points are earned, a satisfactory amount for the game devs to provide me with primo gems, of which I need to accrue if I want the Fossa lore added to the squad.
Now, emerge right here. The Temple of Wisdom. Allow me. I see everything. Ha! A sight to behold. Right now.
Oh, who hit me? Who
right
did
here.
that?
Illusion shattered. Make yourselves at home. Hey! Billowing surge! Now you shall perish!
There you go. We needed that inspiring rupture to occur.
Right now, emerge right here. The Temple of Wisdom.
Now.
Everyone hold hands. Nothing lasts forever. Right now. Right here. There is no escape. Hey! Make yourselves at home. Illusion shattered. Everyone hold hands. What a nuisance.
What a nuisance indeed.
Right now, right here.
Am I being tracked with the thing? I think I was. Poor Yai. Took a lot of damage there. Probably heal a little bit.
Hey! Emerge right here. The Temple of Wisdom. There is no escape.
Yeah, we've been playing this game for over 3 years now, and they're still... I'm surprised they've never come up with a different type of monster challenge. Almost always these little arena battle things.
Share my knowledge. Billowing surge.
Oh, good. Stage has ended. Yeah, it's always been these arena battlers. I'm surprised they haven't done like mini dungeons or something a little more often. There's been a couple events that do that sort of thing. I mean, it takes a lot more work than this does. They can just throw this together in a second, right? Random enemies. Random assortment of monsters in a square box arena. I get it. It's really easy for them to pull off at this point. You just take all your assets and put it in. There's nothing even programmed really with this sort of dealy.
Right now, emerge.
I wouldn't mind this over and over again if the combat was a little more varied.
I see everything. Shine down.
You know, if it was more like a beat 'em up and every character had more than just their basic circle button and a charge attack, if they all had actual move pools.
Emerge right here.
And maybe some unique special moves besides the RT and the super.
The Temple of Wisdom. Hold the line. Illusion shattered.
This is pretty bad. He wasn't affected by the thing.
Torn to oblivion. There is no... Everyone hold hands. Sharing my knowledge.
Share in my
Emerge,
knowledge.
right now, right here. Allow me. I'm always watching. Turret, bring refuge.
I forgot to put more Yaimiko stuff out.
A fresh maneuver.
I didn't even see him on screen. He's just diving.
The Temple of Wisdom.
Just like, I'm gonna attack you. Nahida! Nahida!
Shine down.
It always feels bad when Nahida's getting hit, yeah.
Billowing surge.
Non-stop attacking from the enemy.
Everyone hold hands.
Should give them a stamina meter to see how they like it.
Right now. There is no escape. A sight to behold. Right here, right now, right here. Sharing my knowledge. Illusion shattered. Emerge, right now. Covenant of the deep. Rest and rebuild. Yeah, I see everything. Make yourselves at home.
Alright, well, at least those are over. You know, they are a little tiring to just do 2 minutes of constant R1 and circle mashing, occasional triangle, occasional RT. I'm just getting old, man. I'm getting old. Alright, another 70. Another event solved. 2 more mini games, and we'll enjoy the story. Yeah, these mini games. This is probably the best one, right? You have to put the painting together, and it doesn't make any sense. The way they describe how this works. I remember this being super confusing the first time we did it, but we know what to do now. Okay, we are looking for this one, obviously. Come on, the bridge is right there. Okay, well, they want the tree. Let's do the tree first. Is the bridge being extended? Okay, what other important thing is there? There's one more dead center. We've got the rock cliff in the back. So, that's what they want. They want the waterfall. I wasn't even looking for the waterfall. I was trying to match the bridge, not the waterfall. Another crown in sight. We've acquired all of the loot this event offers. So yeah, there's like 6 of these to actually do. Right. Three each. 60 more prims apiece. Let's get to it. It is nice to be going through the leeway again. And just like the Mondstadt, it was nice earlier. Alright, that one was very easy.
Taking a stroll in the...
Next! I think all of these are about equidistant to it. I don't want the dungeon because I believe the dungeon's underground and you have to climb back out. But I don't recall. But I think it's underground.
Time to go.
It is time to go. Who dares you? Yeah, you better walk away. Is there a rainbow here? I don't think there is. I think that's just simply artist inspiration. Well, this is this. Where is this other mountain range? And this like floating tree on the left, I don't see it. Alright, the path is right here. Nope, game's not interested. Maybe they want more of the mountain? Oh, this one's tricky. I'm not sure what they're aiming for at the moment. Aiming for this? No. It looks like they want more of the mountain on the very, very left. I see the guide thing now. That didn't register whatsoever. They want the hotel. But the hotel was... That was like practically not visible. You see how far left that is? Ah, damn artist. Got me again. Well, yay for the game's pity system. I think they shouldn't have that pity system. I think people should have to find it on their own no matter how long they struggle, myself included. Like, this couldn't possibly be difficult, right? We have Mondstadt here. Here's the steeple of Mondstadt. There's one. We've got the mountain over here. There's two. And then we've got that big ol', yeah, that mountain range. Oh, come on, that is correct. So that was easy. Landmarks, also, doesn't really add up, but, you know, it's whatever. It's all whatevs. Alright, we've been doing this thing for so long. Traveler has so many experiences under their belt. It's a little mind-boggling now at this point. Genshin must really be one of, if not the most content-filled games ever created. I would think. Alright. 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 The old Temple of the Wolf.
We're way behind schedule.
I am way behind schedule.
I follow the wind.
With my greed and how many games I would like to cover before, you know, it all comes to an end, I'd say, yeah, I am way behind schedule. I'll grab some bird eggs. Alright, archways. I don't see them. Alright, well, they want this thing. This is some crazy panoramic view right here. And then they probably want the big tree in the back. So when you know how ridiculous it gets, it becomes easier. Because you anticipate the ridiculousness. And then you can predict what the devs were going for. Alright, we're done with waterborne poetry except for the event, which we will get to in a moment. What is this last one? Alright, we'll check that event out in a few. Hopefully we can finish the whole thing. I would appreciate that. The other thing I want to do is real quick grab my daily commission rewards, because there is no achievement tied ones to worry about. Yeah, I find myself, I like the default to Mondstadt. I'm just so used to doing this. I've been doing that little jog for 3 years now. I do go to Inazuma a lot too, since it's so much closer. I should go to Fontaine, because they're even closer yet. Event. Right. Waterborne Poetry 3, Heart of the Deep. I can't believe... See, I've played this game so few and so efficiently on my quests that we still have to wait a time in-game day. Because I just pop in and pop out, and then we're done. That's kind of crazy. Since the last time I recorded like a week ago. I can't believe I haven't passed by enough time. Wow. An entire day needs to go by. That's actually ludicrous. Well, while that's happening, I can do some rattling. Then I can finish up once once we get into the dialogue.
That was a refreshing sleep. Let's go to the venue. Paimon's really looking forward to hearing everyone's poems.
You've been sleeping for over a week, Paimon. How do you feel about that?
To convince anyone.
Ba-dee-ba-doo. Bum, ba-da-ba-dum. I think that MiHoYo... Listen, hear me out. This is a crazy idea, MiHoYo, but you should have thought about this at the beginning of the game, honestly, right? You know how the circle button makes markers, and it's super annoying when all you want to do is hit a teleporter? What if, and call me crazy, but what if you had the marker placement tied to a different button? Triangle won't work, or Y. This right here could be the warp point button instead, and you could hit select or some other keypad button for PC, but you could hit select. Select doesn't do anything. Select could change the names for people that want this stuff. And then X could be the waypoint placer. Oh, it would be so nice if Circle didn't place waypoints. It's always been a thing. It's just like the tiniest nuisance. Every single time it happens, you place a waypoint, you don't want it there.
Looks like we're a few people short today.
Anyway, it's not a big
Morning,
deal.
friends. Singcho said he wants to take some time and focus on writing poems, so he'll join us later.
Noelle has other duties today, so she asked me to tell everyone not to wait up for her.
Okay, well, never mind. What about Callie Roy, though? She said she'd be here. I got here really early, but I haven't seen her yet.
Are you talking about the girl with the blue hair? I saw her on the bridge near Dihua Marsh during my morning training. She looked a little upset, so I didn't want to disturb her.
Upset? Oh no, what should we do? Was it something we said last night? Oh, Paimon's worried.
We should go and
I
find
agree.
her.
If she's run into some kind of trouble, I'd like to help her.
Huh? You're all going? Then I'm coming too.
Shall we start with the bridge? We're all here a little early, so there should be time.
Good idea. We'll be back in a jiffy.
And then they were not back in a jiffy. Okay.
Time to go.
It's time to go 130 meters that way. Go, Kadehara. Jump, 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 jump. This is still the fastest movement in Genshin Impact.
Oh, so this is the place? We ran into her here yesterday, too. She looked like something was weighing on her mind then as well.
It's also not far from where we were dropping those leaves.
Huh. Leaves?
Oh, right. We were so busy matching couplets we forgot to mention.
They don't all... Not everyone has to be brought up to speed on what activities
Interesting.
a private
I
group
wonder.
was doing.
Could Miss Callie Roy have been the one who wrote that poem on the leaf?
Hmm? What makes you say that?
Oh, sorry. Nothing. Well, nothing concrete. Just a hunch, I guess. It's just... that poem on the leaf kinda gave me the same feeling as when I saw her yesterday. So much sadness.
Now that you mention it, this is upstream from where we found the poem.
Huh? Hey, look! Over there! Another leaf! Wow, you're right! And this one has writing on it too! After that leaf!
I still have a hard time believing if you were actually on an adventure like this, you know, just in a fantasy world, even if it's a fantasy world, even with superpowers, how would you notice one particular leaf in the water and it happens to have writing on it that is this far away from where you were standing? That's just mind-boggling.
Why does it have to float so quickly?
Oh no, they're making me chase after a leaf. Oh no. They figured out more compelling gameplay.
Can't you just fly over and grab it? But Paimon can't swim. What if Paimon accidentally falls into the water?
I want to shake Paimon sometimes. Oh, I'm getting rocked. Stone throwers here. That's like really nasty. We're having a conversation, we're chasing a leaf, doing this for the somberness of a lonely soul that was once in love, and they're fucking casting stones?
It stopped.
No!
Relax, Paimon. It's not going anywhere. Actually, with how shallow this is, I'm surprised that any water gets like over here. This would be cluttered with crap under this bridge. And why would they put a bridge in the shallowest
We
part?
finally got it.
Yeah, what? That
Are the
actually
words
is
still
the bigger
legible,
question.
or have they been washed out?
Looks like the ink's intact. Let Paimon take a look at what it says. Huh? This is related to the poem we wrote in reply yesterday. She must have picked up one of our leaves. Spring. Young boy. It's looking a lot like Callie Roe was the one who wrote this. She seems to care a lot about that story, huh? Actually, when Paimon first saw her, Paimon was wondering, do you think... is it possible that she's,
Based on the current and accounting for wind strength, everyone, please follow me.
Holy crap, he just calculated nonsensical tracking. You know, because where the leaf is will absolutely determine which direction a person walked to afterwards, where they ended up going afterwards, at what pacing they decided to go there afterwards. She must be all the way up here, yes. Absolutely, without a doubt. She is...
This should be far enough upstream. Let's split up and search the area.
Oh dear God.
Callie Roe! Callie Roe!
Kelly Rowe, Kelly Rowe. Surrounded by hilly trails and leeway. Kelly Rowe.
Surrounded by hilly trails! Let's go save her!
That was what I just sang about, Paimon. You're not paying attention. Oh, they're gonna hit her! Oh, they're gonna kill her dead with their big axes. Yeah, I actually find it bizarre that the hilly trail population is as large as it is.
Callie Roe, are you okay?
As I just mean, just to go on a tangent for a second, but we've been fighting hilly trails for a long time. They're supposed to be the remnants of Henri Ka, right? Lumine and Aether's people. But I guess they just crazily repopulate with themselves. It's a little weird how there's still so many. You would think they would be losing population super rapidly.
What's that?
With all the adventurers that just slaughter them.
It's a huge water droplet.
This is exactly what I saw the other day.
Huh? Why are you all looking at me like that? Oh no, my body, is it?
She's the water thing.
That voice is definitely Callie Roy's.
How did this happen? Please wait a moment.
How embarrassing, we saw her naked.
Oh no, did I use up too much energy?
How did you... What's going on here? Miss Callie Roe, are you some kind of adeptus?
No, I'm so sorry for deceiving you all for so long. Actually, I'm an Oceanid who flowed here from Fontaine long ago.
What's an Oceanid?
Ah, the Grandmaster has mentioned them before. The Oceanids were the familiars of the former Hydro Archon. They all fled Fontaine after the Archon died and settled across the world.
That's correct. Though, to tell you the truth, I can't even completely recall how I found myself here. I have a vague impression of my ancestral home, but I can't recall clearly anything I saw on my journey.
You don't want to go back there
All
anyway.
I know is that by the time I arrived in Mondstadt, I had lost most of my power and couldn't even sustain a physical form.
You know, something
Eventually, I
primordial
settled in a
sea.
place called Springvale, where I slowly began to regain my power. Springvale is a serene and beautiful place. The water that flows through there is clear and pure, just like the hearts of the people who dwell there.
So you're the Spring Fairy of Springvale?
Yes, Diona, and I remember you too, you know. When you were little, you often came to the spring at night to speak with me.
Really? You're not messing with me, are ya?
I always thought that was just a local legend.
Your favorite little pillow, the fish one? Its name is Bubbles, is it not?
Yep! All those childhood memories. So they weren't just a dream.
Weren't they supposed to forget about
So,
her?
if this is true,
Wasn't
then
that part
all
of the
those
lore?
things written on the leaves.
I see. So you were the ones who found my leaf. Well, you are correct. The Spring Fairy and Heart of Clear Springs is me.
No wonder you were asking us so many questions about it. So, the boy from the story...
Is Finch. I always loved listening to people's dreams, and still do to this day. Whether they're beautiful, sad, or filled with emotions I couldn't understand at the time. One night, a little boy came to the spring. The tears that fell from his face were more fragile than a moonbeam, and purer than the morning dew.
Okay, last interjection. I don't recall it exactly, because of course it's very old, but this story event with the Spring Fairy has been around since like the version 1.0 of the game. I didn't realize it was such a recent occurrence in the world. They make it sound like it's an old myth that the town had been passing on for a long time, but if the dude is Finch, it couldn't have been for more than a single generation, right?
I like humans.
It's much
I
more
wanted to
current than
understand
that.
them better. I also wanted to make sense of the feelings contained in his tears that were, then, a mystery to me. Yes, we often met under the stars, sharing our stories with one another. Sometimes, we'd stay up all night and see who would hear the first bird chirping from the boughs, or the first cicada of summer.
Aw, that sounds lovely.
But one day, just like the book says, I saw an emotion in Finch's eyes that I couldn't reciprocate. I felt out of my depth, in uncharted waters.
Good game.
But I knew all too well that we Lockfolk face a very different fate from that of humans. Whatever was happening, I didn't want it to lead to Finch writing a chapter of his life that he would later come to regret. So, I fled, and never appeared before him again.
Oh, Caliroe.
My strength returns very slowly, and even after decades, I can only sustain a physical form for a very short time. I once hoped that Finch would be able to move on, and meet me when the stars in the night sky have all gone out. But after seeing so many people's stories, and hearing about all their dreams, I have gradually come to understand Finch's heart. This feeling of wanting to respond to his feelings is surging relentlessly in my chest, and I can no longer restrain it. But I'm also scared. Scared that if I go and see him now, I'll bring nothing but disappointment, and even more pain when it comes time to part.
Oh.
It really is a difficult choice.
Please go see him.
Huh?
I know Grandpa Finch, and he's a really kind person. When I was struggling to learn how to draw maps, he was always encouraging me, telling me not to give up, always keep trying, and get out there and have some adventures. He often tells me stories about his past, but I've never once seen a look of regret or sadness in his face. And even though Grandpa Finch loves adventures, he still stands there by the spring, every day, as if he's waiting for something. I believe that he's serious about his feelings for you, Miss Caliroe. He's never stopped hoping that he'll see you again one day. So if you want to see him too, then what are you waiting for?
Love is in the air.
Huh? Oh, sorry. I think I got a bit too excited and I just thought, well, it just sort of came out.
I understand. That settles it. I've decided. I will go back and see Finch.
You will? Amazing! That's great!
Knock 'em dead, sister.
I'd like to ask all of you for some help.
Sure. Just say the word. We'll help you any way we can.
Would you come to Springvale with me and help to bring Finch to my side? I cannot maintain this form for much longer, and I'm worried others will see me how I was just before.
Leave it to me. I'm really close with Grandpa Finch.
Also, please keep Finch's in my secret. I wouldn't want Springvale's tranquil waters to become agitated on account of all this.
I know. Like, why would they?
Your secret is safe with me.
I won't tell anyone. That's a promise.
Great. I can't thank you all enough.
What's wrong? Are you gonna turn back into a water droplet?
No, I'm sorry. It's just that my mind's racing. As much as I want to talk to him again, I'm still worried that I won't have the words when the time comes. A poem? Okay, good idea. I'll write him a poem. And it will be called Heart of Clear Springs.
Oh my god, that's the name of the mission! Oh, Heart of the Deep is the mission. I think Heart of Clear Springs was listed somewhere at some point. This sounds like something that would be. Hey, we're not walking to Springvale, it's a long journey. Could you imagine a playthrough that was a no teleportation allowed playthrough? Probably wouldn't be very interesting, right? Praise be to fast travel.
Are you okay?
It's nothing. I'm just scared that I won't be able to maintain this form much longer.
Okay, don't panic. Wait here, Callie Roe. I'll go fetch Grandpa Finch.
What? No, that's
Take it
bullshit.
slow, Diona. Finch isn't a young man anymore. He's not as steady on his feet.
You go to
I
him.
can still hold on a bit longer.
Okay, stay strong. You can do it.
Also, why is she acting like she'll never be able to transform again? Why don't you turn into a water droplet and chill for a few hours, and then you can turn into a human? This...
How are you holding up? Would you like some support, Miss Callie Roy?
You can also lean on Paimon if you need.
Thank you, all of you.
If I heard Paimon say that, I would legitimately just, like, not put all my body weight on her, but I would lean on her just to see if she could hold me up. Call her on her bluff. I'd be like, oh, Paimon, I need support. Just collapse over her shoulder. Grandpa Finch, I have to request that you kindly carry your old legs up the hill.
Finch!
Is that Diona? You're back early today.
Today's your special day, Grandpa Finch. Can you come with me?
Oh? Well, where are we going?
Over there, to the waterfall.
Did you catch a nice little fishy?
Just come with me already. This is extremely important.
But I promised your father that I'd go to
Grandpa Finch!
All right. All right. No need to get worked up. I'm right behind you.
Father's right there
That's
too,
more like it. Now come on, I'll help you.
just staring at this.
Draft's daughter is just like him when she's on a mission.
Over here! Over here! It's okay, Grandpa Finch. Take your time.
Huh? What's all this? What are all these people doing here? Even Mika's here? How's work been going lately? And even some friends from abroad, if I'm not mistaken. You do know that today's not my birthday, don't you?
Greetings, Mr. Finch. My name is Chong Yoon. We all met at the poetry gala, and, well, there's someone we'd like to introduce you to.
Finch.
That voice. Callie Rowe.
I didn't think you'd still remember.
Oh, I remember. I remember all right. How could I ever forget? Although your appearance is different than I recall. Back then, you looked like you'd stepped right out of a fairy tale. But I'm one to talk. Of course, a fairy from a fairy tale can change forms. But in your eyes, I'm probably the one who's changed beyond all recognition.
Oh, even after all these years, you still know just what to say to make me laugh.
I thought you were only able to appear in the dead of night. There have been times when I've wondered whether it really was all a dream.
I'm sorry I kept you waiting for so long, Finch.
Oh, it can't have been that long. It's been but the blink of an eye, really.
What a horrifying statement.
Would you like to hear a poem I wrote for you?
A poem? You write poetry now? Well, of course. I'd be delighted to listen. I'll hang on every word that leaves your lips.
In that case, let me read you a story about the Spring Fairy.
This guy's a real lady killer.
Far from my native land I roamed. In streams I slept, many seasons I met as the sun set and rose. I searched for a garden to call a home, and the moonlight ebbed as the water flowed. A soft breeze beckoned me unto a spring. Sleep, weary wanderer, your journey is over. May the dancing petals sweeten your slumber. At dawn, I hummed the melody of a distant stream, and the songs in the night serenaded my dreams. A boy's tender tears trembled through the water, stirring me more than any starlight sonata. He wove me a wreath from past petals and future buds. I crossed beyond the veil of dreams to the realm of flesh and blood. Look at the love that shines from his eager gaze. Answer the call of his heart, lest this moment go to waste. The kittens and fireflies invited my heartstrings to sing, but I was a stranger to the melody of mankind, and knew not how this tune should begin. As the river of dreams trickled into the ocean blue, every time a crystal fly flapped its wings, older it seemed he grew. But I learned to fathom human ways each stumbling step I took, and clouds of confusion became crystal clear in the vulnerable verse I wrote. As seed yearns for soil and trees for the sun, A once foreign melody inside my heart sung, and it cried out your name on every string it could strum. Now, I give my dream to you. May it be in your slumber a sweet spring to quench your thirst. Now, I hand my heart to you, praying my belated promise might meet, still with your trust.
Yes. This is how I remember you from when we first met. All those years ago. It really has been a long, old time, hasn't it?
Finch,
It's okay. I understand. Your poem, it explains everything.
Thank you, Finch. Please, take this.
It's so beautiful.
This is a droplet of water condensed from my own power. Finch, I don't have a physical form like humans, and I can't stay by your side. I don't know how long it'll be before I can change back into human form again. But as long as this droplet remains with you, our hearts will always be connected, no matter the distance between us. I will always be one with the spring. From this day onwards, if you call me, I will meet you in your dreams.
It's so romantic.
You've really learned a lot, haven't you? And you don't even mind that the kids are watching.
Does it bother you?
Eats.
How could it possibly? This is the happiest moment of my life. I just worry that once I go to sleep, I won't ever want to wake up again.
Huh?
Same, old
Don't
man.
say that.
Same.
I'm only joking.
Oh, yeah, me
It
too.
seems that you still have much to learn.
Is that right?
Grandpa Finch and Kelly Rowie look so happy. Oh, what a perfect moment.
Diona, thank you for fetching Finch for me. I've never forgotten you either.
I used to chat with you a lot. Wasn't it ever annoying?
Of course not. You are one of the truest friends I have in the entire world. That's why I gave you your gift, so that a part of me could always be with you.
Huh?
Wait. So is Diona's ability to mix delicious drinks from disgusting ingredients a blessing from this water spirit? And if so, is it also possible that my pure yang spirit is a gift from some being?
My physical form is about to disappear. Finch,
Yes?
I've never regretted meeting you or deciding to talk to you that night. Not once. All these long years. Not for a single moment.
It probably goes without saying, but neither have I.
Although, it was different from in the stories. That fateful night, I never gave you that kiss. This gift that represents my promise and my love, I give it to you now.
Don't be such a prude, traveler. Let them watch. Hmm? It's only polite
okay,
to close your
everyone.
eyes. Yeah, okay. They just wanted
She's
to do
gone
that
now.
damn transition again.
What? But Paimon didn't get a chance to say goodbye. Grandpa Finch.
Don't worry now. She hasn't gone far. Just like she said, she'll always be one with the spring, by our side and in our dreams.
Oh, excuse me. Old Finch. So if we go swimming in this lake now, does that mean we're swimming in Caliroe? It's weird to think about, right?
Oh, child. Let me stay here a little longer.
Then you have something to do with Giraffe? I think you, gonna miss your event. Alright, let's finish this up. Starting the morning off with Tearjerker.
Oh? Hey, you're all back! And it looks like you're in much better spirits than before. Hootow's a step ahead. She's already talking about printing a poetry anthology. She said she can't wait for everyone's final words because I'm itching to pull the trigger. By which I assume she meant she eagerly anticipates receiving everyone's freestyle poetry submissions to help her close the deal.
Where have you all been? I've been waiting here forever.
Perhaps they lacked sufficient inspiration and wished to have an emergency communion with nature. And with any luck, I'll bet they heard some fine poetry along the way.
Code Death Bard! Does this mean that right from the start you... right from the start, you said you would treat us to a nice meal!
Huh? Did I? Very well. Since the Traveler agrees, then it looks like I can't escape this time.
Damn, it's like the gods of Teyvat always
Diona,
know what's
dear Diona,
happening.
Could I trouble you to fix us a couple of your delicious beverages?
You wish. All right. Well, normally I'd never agree, but since I happen to be in a good mood today...
Huh? So, just what have you guys been up to all this time? Why does it feel like there are some unspoken words hanging in the air here that everyone is privy to but myself?
You were not
Really?
important enough.
Must be the breeze. You're reading way too much into it.
Yeah, that's right. We're just, taking a walk. Inspiration walk, since it worked so well last time.
So even Mika's in on it? Chongyun, how about you tell me what happened on the sly? I've just remembered that I heard about a haunted house recently that you'll definitely want to check out. I'm willing to bet that even your pure Yang spirit won't be able to scare off these demons.
Instant
I appreciate
bribery.
the gesture, but no thanks. Not this time. And I'm starting to think that maybe this pure Yang spirit isn't such a bad thing after all.
Huh? What the? What's gotten into you? Okay, that confirms it. I call shenanigans. Something big definitely went down here.
Should have hung out with us instead of being a poem nerd. Heart of Clear Springs for the teapot. And that's it, huh? That's the event. We got nothing else going on. Yo, Pops. You have any vendor-like things? No? I don't think any of these guys do. Alright, we're done with waterborne poetry, as far as I'm aware. The gala is the 3 quests, right? Yeah. Now, I don't know if the characters are out and about. This was like a mid-sized event, right? It wasn't like the Chinese New Year events or the Windbloom Festival for Mondstadt. So I don't know if the characters are around and chattable. 'Cause usually I like to pick up the dialogue since, you know, you only get one chance to ever do that. I can Google it real quick. I don't see anyone around here, but let's Google. To the rescue. What is this event called? I need to know. It's waterborne poetry. I love because when you look up these events, the top result is character locations. People want to know where they're at, yeah. Oh, you can locate them. Maybe, possibly, hold up.
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
Ah, let me see if I can do this. North of the Leeway Toy Shop. So the characters have been around apparently. I do apologize that I never find all of these events. It's just not reasonable to, I guess. Because I don't normally look stuff up in advance, but let's see if we can find some of this to show off. We'll never be 100% completionist. So this is the toy shop, right? I don't know when she was present here, but apparently Hu Tao was hanging out around here somewhere.
Adventurer, think you can last around against me?
Think you can last around against me? Around the what, sir? No, I don't see anyone here. So I guess she's not here right now. Let's after completing Heart of the Deep though, we just did that one. North of the toy shop. Well, north of the toy shop would be up here. Ah, they're right there. I didn't even notice them. Here we go. So here's one.
Now then, didn't you say you wanted to publish a book?
Yes, I do.
So, where's the book?
It's in the works. Just waiting on the poems.
And where are the poems?
They're on the way.
On the way.
Look, I'm sorry, Director Who, but how do you expect me to talk business with you when you don't even have the poems yet?
I just figured while we're waiting, we could discuss terms in advance.
Well, I need to see the content to decide if I even want to sell it, let alone how much to sell it for.
Oh, come on. I showed you a sample already, and it was some of my finest work. Besides, you only need a few highlights to sell an anthology.
You think your poem 15 Tenderloin Steaks will carry the whole book, do you?
That and square meals in the basement. My consultant, the erudite Mr. Zhongli, described it as a meticulous masterpiece. Oh, quote that on the cover. It'll practically sell itself.
Director, we're a small business. If we invest money in printing and nobody buys it, it's my bottom line that's affected.
Don't you worry. I guarantee you, when this anthology comes out, it will take the world by storm. Gods and ghosts alike will weep. As a matter of fact, I heard a ghost crying on the way here. If you don't believe me, I can bring it over.
There'll be no need for that.
Alright, so she's selling all the poems to make some money. Zhao's apparently over here. There he be.
It's you. I thought about what you said, and tried to write a poem. After putting my feelings onto paper, my heart feels much calmer. Can they really hear it?
He writes a poem to his Yaksha bros, which apparently we can find.
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade, it is the last link I have to the land of my birth.
I think it's right here. Oh yeah.
I need to collect more information.
We can offer incense here, which I never did. And then I'll get some more sticks. What else do you have? Oh god, the game is crashing. No! That's Zhao's poem right there. The game is crashing. It's loading. It's loading. I think it's over, boys. Boys and girls, I think we're done. I mean, I could just reload it. It's not a big deal. Alright. Either die or don't, Genshin. Either die or do not. Alright, it died. I closed it. Let's reopen it. We're not done yet here. I don't think I've ever seen Genshin just crash like that. It's crashed before in the past, right? It's been a while since it's happened, but it's definitely crashed before. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Warning, read before playing. You may get terribly sick. Alright. Now, it might take a moment to get in. I have noticed that Genshin has been taking slightly longer to load lately. Alright, that was pretty quick. I'm surprised. Anyway, let's view Zhao's poem. Vicissitudes? Vicissitudes. I have never heard of that word before, so let's Google it so that we can all learn a new word together. Which is probably a popular Google search right now because they just had this in Genshin, right? A change of circumstances or fortune, typically one that is unwelcome or unpleasant. An alternation between opposite or contrasting things. Alright. Look at that. Now you gonna crash my game again, boy? So that was Zhao. Wait, what was that? Is that a dude? Ah, that's just a treasure hoarder. Thought that was something else. I don't know what I thought that was. Anyway, the next... Oh, I exited... Hold on, I gotta get back on the page and then I exited it by accident. Alright, the next location... I don't know if he'll have reloaded, but Finch is still hanging out around here. I don't know if he has different dialogue. It says he's here, anyway. Oh, that's what I was looking for too. You can listen. She's a little ahead of the song. That's what's her name? Finch is supposed to be here. I don't see him though. Where is he? Southeast of the... Ah, he's actually back up in town. That's the way it usually is, right?
Time to go.
Time to go. Did not mean to hit that button. Oh, my eye is tearing up. Oh no, it hurts. Oh, it's like burning. Oh, he doesn't have any dialogue, so he's back to normal, huh? No, this is new stuff. No, never mind. This is back to normal. Okay. So that doesn't really count, but he's listed on the website, so whatever.
Oh, Spring Fairy, please hear me.
Hmm.
It's time to deliver.
That is the only reported one. So apparently Diona and Chongyun and Juncho aren't hanging out somewhere, or they were not discovered for that website. Maybe someone else has found them. Take a moment to look. Oh god, is the internet lagging again? There we go.
Fountain spirits, please come to me again.
Apparently, Finch here does have new interactions.
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home. This blade. It is the last link I have to the land of my
Fountain
birth.
spirits,
By the way,
please come to me again.
was this game crap? No, I'm not seeing anything else. So, if Diona is around with the rest of the crew, I don't know where she would be. Usually, most characters are around somewhere. To be fair, not all characters are. Like, we remember Shenhua wasn't around. She's presumably in her home. And the Cat's Tail also has an event going on. I didn't talk about it, but they're doing another card event. I don't really care too much about the card stuff. Like, maybe I'll play more. Yeah, Temper Challenge is going, which I don't even know what the Temper Challenge is about. I'm not overly worried about it, though. Wait, we have another thing for here? Huh? That's weird. Apparently we never marked that as whatever. I was simply looking for Diona. I don't even remember how do I give it the cat exclamation point. They have so many new cards now. May as well buy some more stuff. Oh, I don't have enough dendrobium. I don't have enough of either of these, so get them eventually. Dynamic skins, I'm not level 5 yet. Oh well. I don't think I can see the rewards for this event either. Yeah, the possible rewards listed is just lucky coins, which is why I don't really care about these. And I have to hit level 4. They keep increasing your level that you need to be. So, it's just not one I bother with. I'll look around a bit. I usually do this. Where would, I guess Chinsa Village is kind of in the area. I like the suggestive development for Chongyun though. So he's going to embrace his power. And now he's gonna think it's a gift of the gods. Unfortunately, the draw distance isn't as far as one would like it to be. So if Chongyun and Shincho are hanging around somewhere, and they're probably just not. I feel like the internet would have found them. People tend to spend time searching for the character locales. They could be in the US somewhere. They could just be somewhere random in Mondstadt.
Time to go.
I feel like they would be somewhere. They're not here. They could be anywhere, really. Like at any point before or after Stone Gate. They could be up on the damn hill. They could be back.
Time to go.
Where we dropped off the poem thing. And Amika too. Like, where's Mika at? They could also just be neglected. Is that guy doing combat with me from all the way over there? He is. That's pretty fucked up, yeah. Mr. Bohun, you're heading towards danger. Lots and lots of danger. I'm not seeing anybody hanging around here. This was the place where the leaf was dropped off. Yeah, if they are around, don't know where they would be.
Right.
I was a game dev sneaking characters into a game for conversations in the post. Where would I sneak them? Where would I sneak them? They're probably not available.
Time to go.
You would think Zhao being like down here, or wherever he is, down here, would have been... He's next to a warp point though. But I would think he would be more obtuse to find than the others. If they're not in Liyue and they're not in Mondstadt, I don't know where they would be. And check the library for Mika. I need more glaze lilies and whatnot anyway.
May the Lord of Geo protect you, and fortune find you.
And fortune find you. I need more glaze lilies, apparently. So I can waste them all on useless card backs. Yeah, Liyue is large too. There's so many of these nooks and crannies to check out. To maybe possibly encounter. Those guys.
You do tell the cleverest jokes there.
I'm surprised no one's hanging out here. Isn't this like... He's a storyteller. I guess not necessarily poem dealer. Does anyone even use the Fatui's fucking bank?
Follow the wind.
Like, they have their bank here, but does any citizen from Liyue actually invest and storage their money in the bank? You have any books, lady? I haven't talked to you in a while. An adventure challenge? She's a card gamer. She is a card gamer. So many people here. I doubt they'd be at Boo Boo Farm. While I'm here though, you have the flower things that I need? Yes, you do. Oh, we can now get this card back next time. I guess I'll just pick up this stuff because why not? I don't have that much. More ginseng in case I need it later.
Time to go.
And the dice. Well, you know, we can do the front entrance, I guess. And the docks. So I will cover the next event. We could hike around Mondstadt real fast, see if I can find Diona / Mika somewhere. Where would they even be though? So they could be anywhere.
Time to go.
They could be in the church, behind the church, on top of the church. But yeah, and if Hu Tao is around, you would think Venti is somewhere. I don't want to talk to you, Wood. don't see anything of interest. I didn't see Venti in the cat's tail. Venti has been known to be on the roofs. I mean, we have video evidence of it myself. We found him on the roof before. During one of the events. It's not to say he is right now, but he's done it in the past. I'm sure he fancies himself a vigilante. Alright, what we got here? I don't see any venties.
I follow the wind.
I can't enter the back door? That's so wrong.
Take a seat. We have a few specials to.
Any meekers? Mihoyo and the prioritizing NPC conversations to door conversations still gets me every time. You have anything new that I'm unaware of? Major special souvenirs. No, just those three things still. I'm pretty sure I bought you out. I don't even... 0. We have exactly 0 animo coins. 100% spent all animo coins. Never obtained more. Yeah, I guess the other characters are not anywhere to be found. I gave it a look. It wasn't a super thorough look, but we gave it a look. Alright, let's do this. So, Fontaine event here. Probably be faster to swim across from that other point, but we'll take the walk. I imagine this is a much later event. Probably no voiced dialogue. I would be surprised if it had voiced dialogue.
Time to go. Time to go.
We have much to do in the world of Fontaine. Oh, this is just a battle event. I might do this on my own later
Time to
then.
go.
These are always the same. All these guys that keep saying they're from the Research Institute, but did the Research Institute not explodify? And that hasn't been dealt with yet? Yeah, you just mentioned all the people on his team perished in the blast. What a sad, sad fate. Yeah, they keep bringing up the explosion. We can't even see the remnants of the explosion from where we are right now. Why does the floating castle look so close from here? These ducks are twitching suspiciously. It's just another event with some gimmick buff that will give you burst damage. That like clears out mobs and you reach a score, so I'm not too fussed over recording that. I didn't actually want to chase those away, I did want to capture them, but I was kind of astounded it wasn't running away from us. For a moment there. Anywho, we'll do one of these. Unless they're all available, I guess we just get it out of the way. They're all available. The same character can be deployed in different parties. Loot can be obtained when setting up your party and is used to equip buff modules. Trial characters and characters that have been deployed multiple times give you less loot. It's funny, they're like, okay, please use your swath of characters, right? Please use your swath of characters. Okay, but I only have 2 legitimate parties to work with here. And one of them, this party here, is genuinely not good. It's genuinely uncompetitive. So I only have 1 party. And then you want me to use another party of characters. I feel like I should just run the same group twice. I'm sure we don't need the buffs. The quote-unquote buffs. Sorry for falling silent there, I was like reading them all to myself. Yeah, they want you to use all your characters, but us free-to-play players don't have swaths of competitive builds to work with.
Hey! Be careful with wisdom! I'm always watching. Right now. Right here.
I just noticed that was there and I had no idea what that was for.
Inazuma shines eternal. There is no escape. I see everything.
Yeah, a new entry. Wind Operative. We've never even fought these things before. Frost Operative. 2 new things.
Go on. Share my knowledge. Emerge. Right now. Nothing lasts forever. Emerge. Allow me. Please remain. Everyone hold hands. The Temple of Wisdom.
The shockwave pressure level just seems unnecessary. But what do I know? No, you don't scare me. Do I scare you?
Shine down. I'm always watching. Right now. Emerge. Right now.
This is all round 1 of 3.
Please appreciate. Share my knowledge.
This is why I don't record these events. They're just kind of dull.
All hail. Born of ice.
Oh, we chose the perfect character for round 2, huh?
Crumble.
This is long overdue. No touching.
Kill them all, Gandhi! Kill them all! What do we even have these events for? Or like this thing? Shockwave pressure.
Access denied. By ordinance divine. Take your for Rex Lapis.
This is order. Quake.
Hey, yeah. Nice and spicy.
To crumble. Born of ice and frost. Blaze over. I will have order.
Cryo incarnate. You're toast.
Rise. Order guide you.
I'm the dragon here. Only I can scream. Alright. Have we earned enough points already? We'll find out.
Illusion ship. Hey! Right here. Emerge. Right now. The Temple of Wisdom. Nothing lasts forever. Emerge. Right here. Everyone hold hands.
Things take an absurd amount of damage.
Emerge. Right now. Right here. Allow me. Shine down. Make yourselves at home. A sight to behold. Emerge. Right now. Emerge. Torn to oblivion.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. This event takes a really long time to clear.
I see everything.
Right here.
The Temple of Wisdom.
Nothing lasts forever. Emerge, right now. Emerge.
Illusion shattered!
Make yourselves at home. Everyone hold hands.
Shine down!
Okay, we're gonna call this one out for what it is. This is a terrible event. And it's the same thing that we've been recycling for a while, so it's a little dull just because of that, but it's so much longer than the other ones because this gimmick thing pauses the action so you can do the 3 repetitious button presses for his device to get a shockwave. And that takes so much more time away. It also seems completely meaningless. Now I see they're finally rewarding you for hitting the 4th and final tier. This is the very first time there's a reward for getting the platinum. 20k points. We only had 11,000 points. That is a steep score difference. I will not be able to platinum any of these. We just don't have teams capable of doing that. You would have to be constantly one-shotting all the enemies. But as for the rest of this, getting bronze is pretty basic, so I will do these on my own. I think they're pretty boring. The only saving grace is 80 primos per, but holy shit, it takes a while. I don't even think I'm going to use the bursts in the future. But yeah, we're not going to spend time recording this. I'll do the rest of this event on my own, as I usually do these battle ones off recording. Yeah, unless they have story plot, then I'll do them, but this doesn't. So what we're gonna do instead is what I said we would do. We're gonna finally knock off another one of these things. Let's get started. Let's learn more about Faruzan, character that we haven't really spent time with except for that one event with Alhaitham and whatnot. The Sumerian event. We spent a little bit of time with her there. All we really know about her is she's old, but she doesn't seem to be a supremely respected being or anything. Like, people aren't aware that she's old. I don't know what her deal is entirely.
Even though most of the academia's restrictions have significantly relaxed, I'm still a bit worried that the Matra might give her trouble. I need to stay here to keep an eye on the situation. Kale, can you head to Sumeru City and find out why she isn't here yet?
Does it have to be me?
I'd only assign a job this important to someone I trust. Are you not feeling well?
Oh no, I'm fine. I've completely recovered. It's just that if I'm going to see her, I think I need to mentally prepare myself first.
I know. You'll have a tough time if you go by yourself. If we could arrange for someone to accompany you.
We haven't done one of these in a while.
Oh, hey there!
forgot just how graphic novel-y they try
It's
to
been
make
a
these
while.
turn out to be.
What a coincidence. I was just thinking about asking you to accompany Kale to Sumeru City. Sorry, that's not what I meant. It's just that this matter concerns research banned by the academia. Not the sort of thing you'd shout from the rooftops. Also, you happen to know about this situation. There are very few people I can trust to be discreet right now. After giving it much thought, I believe you're the most suitable person for this task. It's complicated, and this isn't the best place to talk about it. We'll fill you in on the details once she arrives. You might have heard about her in Sumeru before. Her name is Faruzan, and she's a very experienced senior researcher.
One sec.
Let's just say that a huge part of Kasharawar's mechanical research over the past 100 years has used her academic discourse and manuscripts as their foundation. She is, but she vanished for 100 years because of a certain incident. She only returned to the academia after being found in the wilderness a few years ago.
Oh, so that's the deal.
Because of that, her current personality can be a bit, strange, as is her attitude towards Kale.
I'm getting a headache just thinking about it.
She doesn't have bad intentions, so you don't have to be scared.
I didn't realize she had disappeared from existence for an indescript amount of time.
Yes. Kasharawar and Spontamod researchers are often quite prejudiced, so I can't trust them with this matter. However, Faruzan isn't influenced by modern thinking. In our previous correspondence through letters, she indicated that she'd be willing to help. It's already past our arranged meeting time, but she still hasn't shown up. I don't think so. With her personality, it's more likely that she got wrapped up in some sort of trouble.
I still can't get
Anyway,
used to
can you go
Tinari's
with Kale
current
to the
voice
academia and check on Faruzan for me?
over his previous voice actor.
Thank goodness. I was so anxious.
I'm counting on you two. Kale, don't push yourself too hard. Just go there and see what's going on. Our task is important, but not that urgent. If Faruzan really is in some trouble, come back and tell me about it. We can always reschedule our meeting. After all, if she's distracted by other things, it'll affect her ability to help us.
All right, let's go!
There you go. Now you seem excited, Kale.
Oh yes, and one more thing. You might find her difficult to get along with at first. However, if you address her as Madam, she'll become much easier to talk to.
If you dress her as Madam. I believe we're familiar enough with Faruzan to know that.
Sorry, what did you say? Oh, could you repeat yourself? As you know, I'm sure, hearing goes with age.
Faruzan, I said that you need to give us an answer.
Yes. And did you forget to add Madam when you addressed me earlier?
Your hearing is perfectly fine. Madam Faruzan, we don't want to make things difficult for you. However, you haven't been teaching courses or supervising theses these past few years. Isn't this rather problematic as an advisor? Never mind the students, even other advisors are starting to complain.
And who, if I may ask, complained? If they have any issue with me, tell them to talk to me themselves rather than waste any of your time. You don't have to tell me anything. I very well know that it's those people from Haravatat. How I wish they'd put their time into doing proper research instead.
But, Madam Faruzan, it has been a long while since you last made any practical academic contribution yourself.
Academic contribution cannot simply be divided between the tangible and the intangible. The issue here, I believe, is that the reviewer doesn't understand the very nature of knowledge itself. In any case, it makes no sense to use a metric like this to evaluate a mentor. Which sage set this rule anyway? I should write a letter of complaint right this instant.
Wait! Madame Faruzan, please let me finish.
That's her, all right. But the person with her doesn't look like a Matra. Shh! She hates it when people call her young! Her body apparently stopped aging during the year she was gone. So that's why she looks the same as she did 100 years ago. Okay, I think I'm ready for this. Let's go!
Anyway, Akara Crafts and the leader of Ksharawar would like to invite you to collaborate on this project. They're wondering if you'd be interested. Madame Faruzan? Are you listening?
Mm-hmm. Ah, Kale! Why are you here at the Academia? Are you feeling better now? I'm much better, Madame Faruzan. It's all thanks to the Traveler and the Dendro Archon. Have you been sleeping well? You seem to be developing some eye bags. Is that brat Tainari forcing you to stay up late again? No, it's because I'm a slow learner. It's not Master's fault. It's good to be hardworking, but you need to take care of your health. I'll have to give Tainari a right talking to when I see him. I'll also prepare some health supplements for you. There's really no need. Ah, and is the person beside you the legendary Traveler? Oh, I've heard much about you before. In fact, I've been meaning to meet you for a while now. It is thanks to you, after all, that the Academia is finally getting back on its feet. Even Kali's illness is...
Ahem. Madame Faruzan, I believe we were still discussing the collaboration with Akara Crafts.
I'd wager it's those Ksharawar dunderheads finding excuses so that I'd go to their darshan. Say no more. I have no plans to change my field of research.
If you're this unwilling to participate in the collaborative project, you can also consider teaching a class. It might be difficult to teach a course with topics that only fall within Haravatat's subjects, but we can't delay this anymore. You need to give an answer. You can teach a course or participate in a collaborative project. If you don't do either, it'll be hard for me to persuade the advisors and students who have been complaining.
Could you not give me a few more days to consider? This matter has been delayed for so long already.
That's precisely the issue. If you don't give an answer today, I fear that someone will soon escalate their complaints to the sages.
What a waste of free time these folks are. Now you two are here at Tainari's behest, I take it. I'm sorry, but given the current situation, it looks like I'll have to come over some other day. Of course. I shall need some time to think as well. What now? She seems so busy. Master said there's no rush, but I know that he's been busy working on something at Pardis DI, so he hasn't returned to Gandharville for several days now. I feel for Madame Faruzan, but I still want to ask her to come with us. But if I get her in trouble with the Academia, then she won't have the time to help Master. What should I do? Oh, this is such a headache. Yeah, that would be the best for them both.
We'll just
I'll
follow
check
the
with
top
Master
route
later and
first
see if
here.
there's anything I can help him with. But I'm sure he'll say, the best thing you can do now is study hard, so I don't have to give you remedial lessons. Huh? Oh yes! This way she can get her problem sorted out quickly, and then she can go see Master. So if I also stay and help... that still sounds kinda scary. Okay then. I'm counting on you.
Get out of here, you little scamp.
Huh. I have to teach students from Haravatat, or owe Ksharawar a favor. It strikes me that they might be even less happy about such a deal than I am.
I think I can sympathize with them.
We're back, Madame Faruzan. The Traveler said that she can stay and help you.
Oh, why I couldn't ask for more. In fact, I'm rather curious about the type of person the Traveler is. You were the one who taught Azara a lesson after all. That said, will I be troubling you? Is that so? Good. It does so happen that I do have something I need help with. Now, should I apply to teach a course with Haravatat, or join the collaborative project that Kosharawar is proposing? Honestly, I don't want to choose either of them.
You might have heard of it before. Haravatat is an academic faction that researches languages and runes. 100 years ago, Madame Faruzan was a researcher from that darshan.
Now, not was. Still am.
Yes, of course. But current Haravatat students can't really, understand her direction of research. So even if she opened a course, chances are that no one would attend.
In summary, I mean to interpret the configurations and solutions of ruin mechanisms via the deciphering of on-site stone carvings and unearthed documents. It'll include research into general documents dealing with such ancient machines.
The research method is supported by Haravatat, yes, but the content deals heavily with both ruins and mechanisms. This will make it difficult for students of this darshan because they don't understand much about mechanisms. Also, there are fewer and fewer unexplored ruins left nowadays, and Kosharawar researchers have been developing their own theories on mechanisms. As such, they don't need to rely on ancient documents.
They're far too complacent. Ancient mechanisms are more dangerous and complex than one might imagine. I'm telling you, things weren't like this 100 years ago. All researchers back then were interested in exploring knowledge from a variety of topics. They also gave more respect to unknown mechanisms. Nowadays, all people are interested in are mainstream subjects in popular research. Even if they attended my course, I wouldn't be interested in teaching them. Also, the people here think that my research is outdated and unrealistic, so they keep cutting my funding. Why, I think they could all stand to learn from Kale. She's a hard-working child and respects her elders.
Huh? Why me?
If only those who came to my lectures were more like you. Speaking of which, are you feeling better? You don't have to confine yourself to Gandharvaville anymore, right?
I just remembered that I have a lot of studying to do. I need to head back and find Master.
Are you telling me to start a reading course for Kale?
Huh?
Wait. Although Tainari has academic dealings with the academia, he isn't considered part of it. This means that Kale isn't technically a student.
No, she's right. The old academia became consumed by their arrogance precisely because they ignored the public. There must surely be many people like Kale and Sumeru who are passionate about learning, but cannot study due to various reasons. The old academia paid no heed to them. But if I start a reading course for Kale as a pilot, perhaps this shall come to benefit many more people in the future.
I'll need to go back and ask if this is in accordance with regulations.
Oh, save yourself the extra trouble. I'll come with you. If there's any arguments to be had, we shall sweep them aside together. Traveler, Kale, do wait for us a little while outside the academia. I'll be back in just a moment.
Wait! Let's catch up with her.
We just put more work on Kale's plate.
I can't believe she rushed right in after we arrived. She's really headstrong. Oh, how did things turn out like this? No, not really. Madame Faruzan is a brilliant scholar. Even Master thinks so. If she's really going to teach me how to read, it'll definitely be much better than me bashing my head against the wall. It's just that she can get a bit too passionate sometimes. I don't know how to handle that. Maybe it's because she wants to take me in as a student? It's just like that researcher said. The academia has completely changed during the 100 years that Faruzan was gone. I don't really get it. But it does seem like Haravitat's students aren't optimistic about the prospects of doing research with her. Students who are interested in mechanisms and applications of the elements generally enroll in Kasharawar and Spotamod. Madame Faruzan also refuses to accept random students just to make up numbers. She still hasn't found a student she likes, even after all this time back. But she seems to like my attitude toward learning, so she often asks me if I'm willing to become her student. It's because I'm a slow learner that I have no choice but to stay up late and study. Whenever she compliments me, I feel really guilty. It's not that. Madame Faruzan respects my choices. She hasn't been trying to persuade me, especially since she knows I need to rest and recuperate. She sometimes brings food to Gandharvaville for me, and each time she says that Master can't find out. Now that you mention it, it does feel a bit like that. Do I really look that young?
Kale, Traveler, thank you for waiting. The issue has been resolved. I argued with the higher-ups and convinced them of the practicality and necessity of educating the general public. If I'm not mistaken, they're the students of my classmates' students. They're a lot less forceful than their predecessors, though. I'd say they caved rather quickly.
Amazing.
It's just that we need to fill in every single page of the application. It's been a century, but the academia is as picky as ever. Let's see now. What do we need to fill in? Course name, learning objectives, teaching methods, course materials. I suppose we can fill in the course name last. That's a bit too general, I'd say. After all, this class's target audience isn't toddlers or children, but rather people who already know the basics of reading. As such, we'll need a more specific learning objective. How about proficiency in reading and writing?
That's true. If we use children's teaching materials, we'll only end up wasting a lot of time on things that students would already know.
And you have your job as a forest ranger, Kale. People who attend this course in the future are also likely to have life commitments. We need more effective teaching methods.
Master always tells me that practice is the best way to learn. That's why I often ask him to help me find simple books to read.
It must have been difficult to get books in Sumeru in recent years, no? Tainari really went the extra mile for you. Expanding literacy is a capital notion. Now that the academia is easing restrictions on the circulation of books, there should be more people who have become interested in reading. It's a great time to conduct this course. So that's next on the list. I fear that I'm at a loss as to which books youngsters like nowadays. Would The Legend of Antara be too old of a story? Fair. Kale, what have you been reading lately?
Called her a Centaurian.
I've been reading light novels from Inazuma. I heard that ever since we were allowed to sell books in Sumeru again, some people set up stalls at Treasure Street to sell light novels. I've been meaning to go there and check it out.
Light novels? This is my first time hearing about such a thing, but I doubt I will procure suitable teaching materials from the House of Dana. Treasure Street it is.
Wait for us, Madame Faruzan!
Oh, you're in for a treat.
You wouldn't think someone as fast as her is over 100. Let's pick up the pace and catch up to her.
I mean... Sure. Have you seen any of the Archons running around Kale? They're over 100. They're pretty quick.
What a long and mildly ungrammatical title. And why is the cover so colorful?
Is this your first time seeing a light novel, ma'am? Oh, they're the most popular of books nowadays. Would you like me to recommend something?
This is isekais, isekais.
One shouldn't judge a book by its cover after all. May we browse through the books here?
Of course. Why don't you try this one? It's Outlander Brigade, When the Wind of Death Blew Towards the Blonde Samurai.
The fucking names of light novels.
I heard that this book's author describes action in vivid detail.
Now I've only skimmed through a few pages, but it feels like it's all fight scenes. There are only subjects and predicates, and the syntax is a tad simple. Subjects? Predicates? The protagonist just ends up fighting in every scene with no proper build-up. Will anyone even enjoy a story that's only comprised of fights?
How about... the good thing about being reincarnated as a hilly churl is that I only need to eat Sunsetias to become stronger.
A reincarnation isekai story? Those are pretty popular right now. Isekai? What in the world is that? Also, why does it become stronger by eating Sunsetias? Tropes? Ah, those fictional rules used to push the plot forward, yes? They're definitely effective in achieving a distancing effect. Sorry. What is this distancing effect? However, this book doesn't explain how reincarnation correlates to becoming stronger. Such an illogical rule will affect the coherence of the story. Will readers really accept this?
How about this? I had to fight tooth and nail to get this in stock.
Oh, that's the latest volume of Onibudo!
Dear God, Onibudo.
Now that's a rather normal title length. Oh, Kale, do you like this series?
I'm super familiar with Onibudo at the moment because that quest comes up all the time. We already got the achiever for it. It's in the Zoom and Daily.
I don't like it that much. Madam, are you going to use this series as teaching material? Let me see. The dialogue flows quite well, but there are too many phrases here that I don't recognize. Third eye of perception, illusory mirror, and so on. Are these terms that are tied to tropes? I also thought those names were strange when I was reading them. It's impossible to derive the meaning of these phrases in isolation. Also, their morphological properties are quite pedestrian, really. Or did the protagonist purposely create these strange names to disorient their foes? So there's no deeper purpose. Hi, it's quite hard to understand stories written these days. You're right. It's such a weird book. But you keep wanting to read the next page. Even the most popular book in Sumeru back then had greater depth than anything written today. Yes, a Bahumano researcher wrote it while researching folk legends. The plot had many twists. The world building was fantastic, and even the writing could withstand scrutiny. When it was still being published, many people in the academia were reading it. Even the sages back then all described the story as a timeless classic. The series must have concluded after so many years, right? Perhaps it's even more popular now.
Is there a book like that in Sumeru? I've never heard of such a thing before. What's the title?
It's called Tales of Shariar. Do you sell it here?
Tales of Shariar? I don't think I've heard of that before. When was it published?
About 100 years ago.
100 years ago? Are you pulling my leg? What sort of book can remain popular for 100 years?
The Legend of Antara is popular to this very day, isn't it? I just heard someone telling it a few days ago in a cafe. If an old story like that is still being shared, then Tales of Shariar must be even more popular.
Even if that is the case, I really don't carry that book here in my store.
What? Is that because of the academia's strict control over books in recent years? I can't believe they've allowed the people of Sumeru to become so uncivilized. How can they not know about the Tales of Shariar?
Tales of Shariar? Oh, wait. I think I heard an antique seller on the other end of Treasure Street mention that name before. I mean, it is a book from 100 years ago. Why don't you try asking for it there?
Tales of Shariar is considered an antique now? How could the academia have let such an excellent work of literature be forgotten like this? Traveler, Kale, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Let's meet at the antique sellers. Madam, wait! Oh no, this is bad.
I was about to say, her story beat here is so concentrated in one place, we don't even need to do anything. It feels like it'll just wrap up.
You asked me why I'm scared of Madame Faruzan, right?
It's not because I don't know how to respond to her kindness. It's because I'm afraid of that ancient language she researches, because I can barely understand any of it. What if she uses ancient text as teaching material? Even so, what if researchers from 100 years ago like to use ancient languages in their books? We've got to catch up to her!
Damn, Kale, why are you panicking? Just learn a new language. It's not easy, but it's not to be terrified of.
A book that was popular 100 years ago. Doesn't sound like something that'd be popular now, to be frank. A book that was
You guys must not have anything on the quality of, like, Shakespeare and whatnot at all in your world, and that's kind of sad. If you think 100 years can kill the popularity of a book.
Found it! The 5th volume of Tales of Shariar!
Yeah, actually, that's a fun thought experiment. When we're old and dying, you think people are gonna know of or care about, I don't know, like ReZero? Because that one's pretty popular. Any mangas and whatnot, or are they all just gonna fade away into obscurity? And they're not really books. ReZero is a light novel.
Wow, you actually found it!
I never thought this book would ever get sold.
All right, that's our teaching material secured. We also now know what to call this course. Analysis of Classical Texts. After all, this book is definitely worthy of being called a classic.
Can I take a look? Luckily the language being used here isn't ancient at all. I can recognize a few words here and there. Huh? But why aren't there pictures in this book?
Oh dear God.
As long as the writing is good, readers won't need any illustrations to imagine the scenes. Worry not, I shall thoroughly explain the difficult sections. You'll like this book, I know it. After all this time, I wonder if Aaliyah and Aziz ended up together. And who obtained the desert gem in the end?
I also want to point out that if she's so used to illustrations, they're not reading true light novels. Okay.
Sir, do you have the subsequent volumes of the
spoiled
series?
kids in this world.
I don't think so.
Is that so? And here I thought I could finally read the ending. Never mind, I'll keep searching for the later volumes myself. If I'm to use it as a teaching material, it's better to start earlier in the series. Where are the first 4 volumes? Why aren't they all together?
I don't have those either. Actually, this is the only volume I have.
Is this series really that popular?
No. It's not popular at all. Rather, there's absolutely no demand for it.
No demand? Impossible! Back then, I'd come across at least 3 groups of people talking about it during a single stroll at the academia.
Seriously? No one told me that this book was anything special when I first got it.
Where did you get this from? Can you still contact the seller?
I'm afraid not. This book was sold together with a whole bunch of antique furniture. I didn't even notice it initially. Otherwise, the Matra would have come knocking. Wait, is this book actually worth a lot? It can't be, right?
That's impossible. No matter how strict the academia was, there's no way Tales of Shariar could have fallen into such a state.
I do remember a passerby skimming through the book a few days ago. However, he simply sighed and left.
He sighed? Why would he react like that? Given the quality of Tales of Shariar, he should have been entranced after a single glance. I'm sorry. Traveler, Kale, please give me a moment. I'd like to look through this book first. Why is there another misunderstanding between Ali and Aziz? Also, why is there no mention of the desert gem at all? And a new character is introduced with no foreshadowing at all? Also, what are all these new names and terms? Is this really the Tales of Shariar I know?
Well, that passerby reacted in much the same way. It's Madar from the cafe over there. You know, the fellow who spends all day telling the legend of Antara. Since that's also a very old story, maybe he knows a thing or two about that, tales of, whatever it's called.
Then let's go ask around at the cafe. Huh? Madame Faruzan? Huh? Oh, yes. Let's go.
Anyway, is there anything else here that's caught your eye? As long as the price is reasonable, I can give you this book as a bonus.
I'll give you this book as a bonus. Yeah, I'll take the giant necklace thing that you have in this case. I have billions of more, so price is not a problem. Oh wait, I didn't say that. I have 5 moras.
Another day, another empty room.
Everybody be sighing you.
But are you Mada?
Yes. Are you here to listen to my story?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
We actually came to ask about something else.
I see.
Sorry.
It's fine. I'm used to it, more or less. So, how can this terribly unpopular storyteller help you?
Do you know about Tales of Shariar?
Huh? Tales of Shariar? Why, I can barely remember the last time anyone talked about it. My master always talked about how incredibly popular that book used to be. However, I tried reciting a few chapters of it at the cafe, and I found that it's even less popular than the Legend of Antara.
Your master?
Yes, the one who taught me how to be a storyteller. He said that Tales of Shariar was written by his master's master's master. He also said that this great-great-grandmaster was an academia researcher, and that even the sages liked the series. He wrote 4 volumes back then, and the reviews just got better and better. You couldn't find a single person in Sumeru who hadn't read his books.
And then? What happened next? Why doesn't anyone know about Tales of Shariar now?
Oh, it's hard to tell when it comes to trends. One day everyone likes stories like that, and the next day their tastes change completely. Instead of writing a proper ending, this great-great-grandmaster kept trying to extend the story. To tap into popular trends, he added a lot of tropes. Then, starting from the 5th volume, the reviews started to go downhill.
How could that be? Then what happened to Tales of Shariar in the end?
In the end, there's no ending. The great-great-grandmaster tried to write a few more volumes, following whatever trends were popular at the time, but the trends kept changing right as he published his books. He got so infuriated that he stopped writing altogether and focused on his research instead.
What? So there's no ending? The readers didn't care?
By that time, only a very small number of people were reading Tales of Shariar. Anyway, my master probably exaggerated. How could a work possibly have been that popular? The only tangible thing my great-great-grandmaster left is the original draft of Legend of Antara. He also left behind many theses from his research phase. When my master talked about Legend of Antara, he'd even quote from those theses. My master is a much better storyteller than me. Even when we're telling the same story about Antara, he's always able to draw in a huge crowd. But even he won't recite Tales of Shariar due to its ever-changing writing style and its lack of an ending.
So, Antara's story is the one that lasted through the years.
Well, not even sages can definitively ascertain the quality of something like a story. In the end, only time can separate the classics from the fads.
Only time? Madame Faruzan?
It's been 100 years. Perhaps some things I once believed to be great aren't so after all.
Yeah! Master helped me find a lot of famous books at first, but in the end, I realized that I couldn't get into them. No matter how good those stories are, I can't improve my skills if I can't bring myself to read them in the first place. I think the best books for me are the ones I like.
Huh. Indeed. That is true. Readers' interest in trends of a time are not things that are so easily predicted. What was popular 100 years ago could be completely forgotten in modern times. And yet, 100 years, as far as history is concerned, is but a blink of an eye. If Tales of Shariar hadn't chased after trends and instead stuck to its original style from start to finish, it might have stood some chance of gaining renewed popularity. No, even if that didn't happen, at least it would be a work that was true to itself.
Huh? Our conversation just got a lot more serious.
I don't really get what you're talking about, but it does sound sensible. Looks like I also have to hang in there and tell Antara's story well.
How unseemly. I almost got carried away because of a single book. Well then, we should get back to the matter of our teaching material. It looks like we can't use Tales of Shariar now. No, it's much too old.
Oh.
Kale, you found a book that you liked at the bookstall, yes?
Yes, but I don't really...
Oh.
Then we'll use that book as our teaching material. Now that I think about it, using a book that you like is the most suitable choice for teaching you how to read. As for the academia, as long as we come up with an appropriate course name, we should be able to get away with this. My, it sounds like you've dealt with the academia before. Let's go with that. Now then, let's return to the book vendor in a bit and buy the latest volume of this Onibudo for Kale. Ah, but if I wish to use it as teaching material, I have to read it first.
Huh?
Speaking of which, other than Third Eye of Perception and Illusory Mirror, I also espy some unfamiliar phrases from the reader's messages at the back of the book. Such things as, even if it reminds me of my dark history, I still can't help but be drawn in by the story. And the author has written all the things that I only dare whisper into a tree hollow. Why do people use dark history to refer to awkward or embarrassing memories? Is this some slang that was invented in the last century? If one of our learning objectives was researching linguistic changes over the past 100 years, it might make it easier to get these books approved as teaching material.
Oh, I can tell you what that's all about. Apparently, in their youth, some people used to imagine themselves as someone burdened by fate, fighting against the world, etc. But as they grew older, they started to become embarrassed by such memories. Some would write those fantasies into novels, while others would entrust such tales to tree hollows.
Mata, you know, I suddenly have the urge to hear a story about Antara.
Huh? Why so suddenly?
I knew it. There will always be people who love the golden oldies. Now, let me tell you all about the ancient hero, Antara.
She's just embarrassed because she tells her stories to tree hollows. Okay. Now, how do I do this again? 3 branching paths, eh? And that one was all rather static, so we don't have to try the other options there. Let me leave. Game? Allow me passage through thine doors.
What now? Master said there's no life feel for Matt, but if I get her in trouble...
Alright, let's do this one again first. Make sure the second branch isn't off of here.
Huh? Oh, so if I also stay in hell, okay then. Huh. I have to teach students. We're back, Madame Faruzan. The Traveler said...
Oh! Why, I couldn't ask for more. Is that so? Good. It does now. Should I apply to teach a... I don't know if Tainari's told you about this before, but while my research involves learning about ruins and the mechanisms within them, I don't belong to Ksharawar, which specializes in researching mechanisms, nor am I in Spontamod, which specializes in researching energy flow. Instead, I'm part of Haravatat, which specializes in languages and scripts.
She has been invited to Ksharawar multiple times to continue her research, but she's rejected them each time.
Just listen to how they introduce themselves. In the future, Ksharawar will be the only Darshan with the ability to research mechanisms. There's no such thing as exclusivity in knowledge. Besides, the current Ksharawar is more concerned about how mechanisms can be used in everyday life, while my research involves textual analysis of ruins. If they're trying to use the collaborative project as an excuse to have me reconsider again...
No, that's not it. The request this time is from Akara Crafts. The representative of Ksharawar recommended you to them, Madame Faruzan. In truth, she told me that it's because she respects you a lot.
Oh, respect? Oh, my. Putting aside my ideological differences with Ksharawar, I suppose I must acknowledge this attitude of theirs. At the very least, they're bounds above those decrepit Haravatat fools.
Yeah, Akara Crafts is a pretty nice shop.
Well, since both of you feel as such, I shall first hear this proposal.
In summary, Akara Crafts wants to design a series of early learning toys that will cultivate curiosity and learning in children.
Early learning toys. Interesting.
The academia agreed to work with them because they hope that these toys can help children become excellent researchers in the future.
True. The current academia is in need of some new blood. If the children start learning now, perhaps I can find some talented students in a few years.
Madame Faruzan, you still haven't found any students?
Anise, Ksharowar's representative, should be staying in the inn at Port Ormos. If you want more details, you can find her there.
Port Ormos? Now there's a place I haven't been to in a long time. I wonder how much it's changed.
I probably can't join you since Port Ormos is a little far from here. I should probably go back and report to Master, and then review today's homework.
No worries. Go do your homework, Kale. Once I'm done with everything here, I'll head over to Pardistii. Thank you. Why, I'd even call this a rare chance for a curious researcher like myself to observe the legendary traveler up close.
Archon be praised! I can finally send a report to my superiors. Thank you so much. I have no idea how we might have persuaded her otherwise.
She wasn't 100% persuaded. She just said she would go and chat with this toy maker. So, Archon be damned. Yeah, we get the Port Ormos theme. It better start kicking.
Madame Faruzan! Oh, it's really you. Did you change your mind?
All right, calm down. Let me be clear. I'm still not all that interested in Ksharawar. I'm just here to see how the project is going. After all, you're here as representatives of the academia in this collaboration. The reputation of all research is at stake here, so I will not simply stand by should mistakes get made.
Either way, it's good that you were willing to come. Now, we've given Akara Crafts many ideas over the past couple of days. However, their owner thinks that our designs are too complicated, which will drive production costs too far up.
That's expected. Students who have never had to deal with budgetary constraints probably don't understand how important it is to keep costs low. How enviable. Oh,
If you join the Kasharawar, your budget will be as big as you want it to be. I guarantee it.
That's enough. I will not repeat myself. Take me to a Kara Crafts owner first, if you please.
All right. He's usually at the slope up ahead recruiting volunteers to test out his toys. Let's just head over.
Back to the toy makers once more.
Mamdu, the one I recommended is here.
So you're, Madam Faruzan?
Yes, that's me.
Oh, wonderful. We haven't been able to make any progress on our collaboration recently. We've made many suggestions, but Miss Anis thought that those ideas were too simple and wouldn't be effective in training the mind.
These early learning toys are meant to help the academia train future researchers, after all. If they're too simple, then how are they any different from regular toys?
But if they're too complicated, not only will they be expensive to produce considering our production capabilities, but they won't have much broad appeal to Sumeru's children either.
So the design can't be too complicated, but it can't be too easy to play with either.
I remember that in your notes, many contraptions have managed to fulfill complex functions despite using simple parts. Maybe we can do something similar with these early learning toys.
The contraptions in my notes? I didn't create those. I simply took the contraptions in the ruins apart and analyzed them. But now that you mention it, the ruins did have things like that. Do you have a pen, paper, and scissors? I'll make a paper prototype.
You have an idea already? I suppose I should have expected as much of a respected academia senior researcher. We do have those. Yes, please, help yourself. Oh, you're done already?
She's invented this thing that was in every pediatrician's office.
Let me explain. These 3 thick lines represent 3 poles. These paper strips of varying lengths represent rings of different sizes. They can be slotted onto the poles and stacked up like a tower.
Well, that is easier to make than I expected. So, how is this game played?
That's very simple as well. You just need to shift the tower from this pole to another pole.
Isn't this a little too simple? Even by the standards of an early learning toy, I mean.
Of course, when moving each ring, the paper strips in this case, you must follow one rule. You can only move 1 ring at a time, and you can't place a bigger ring on top of a smaller one. It's like building a tower. The rings in the 3 poles must be stacked from big to small. I named this toy Pagoda Stack.
Pagoda Stack.
That sounds way too simple. Even I feel like it's missing something.
Give it a try and you'll find out if it's simple or not. I heard from Anis that you find volunteers to try out the toys, right? Why don't we do the same for this game?
It's such a simple toy. There's no need to...
Mamdu, let's just do as she says.
Okay, then.
And that's how you play this game. You can all give it a try. Let's see who's able to move the tower to another pole in the smallest number of steps.
You called everyone here for such a simple toy?
It doesn't look like it'll take that many steps.
Come on, we all promised to help Mr. Mamdu test out the new toys. He said he'd give us new Genius Invocation TCG cards.
Ugh, fine. Let's get this over and done with so we can head back and play cards.
Done! It took me 19 steps.
Huh? It took me over 20 steps.
I only needed 18 steps.
Not bad. Looks like you're all familiar with the rules now. Then let's increase the difficulty. The next tower will be 5 layers tall. Now then, give it a shot. Wait, there's more?
Well, since we're already here, why don't we just give it a try?
An extra layer shouldn't make it that much harder, right?
What's going on? I've already moved over 30 steps, but I'm still not done yet.
I'm almost done. Looks like I'm the faster one this time.
Done! It took me 35 steps.
What? How?
This pagoda stack toy is pretty fun to play with.
Good. We'll try it one final time. This time, we'll add 2 more layers, making 7 layers in total. Mamdu, we've still got quite a few paper strips here. Why don't you give this a go as well?
Do you need that many steps for something this simple? Let me try.
Madam Faruzan, allow me to try it as well.
You were looking at it quite seriously just now. Are you starting to understand the principles involved?
I think so.
If you want to test out your hypothesis, you'll just have to play and find out.
Got it.
Ah, we don't have enough paper strips left for you, Traveler. However, by the looks of things, you seem to have the game figured out. Why don't you guess what the lowest number of steps needed to solve a 7-layer pagoda stack is?
I don't have any idea. Let's cheat. Yep, it's a popular Google question, huh?
Oh, color me impressed. You figured it out so quickly. Let's see how well they do then.
127 steps, man.
If I move this small ring, then the big one won't be able to go on top of it. Oh, this is going to take more steps than I expected.
I've lost count of how many steps I've taken. Can I restart?
This got a lot harder.
I solved it! Madam Faruzan, it takes 127 steps in total.
That many? But there are only 7 layers.
For every extra layer in the pagoda stack, the move order you need to consider becomes much more complex, and the number of steps required will at least double.
More accurately, it will require double the steps, plus 1 each time. You did well. You didn't underestimate the principles behind it just because it's an early learning toy. The complexity of any given contraption isn't determined by the number of parts it has. The way the parts interact and the rules behind how it operates are important too.
Oh, I see. No wonder you emphasized in your notes that no contraption should ever be underestimated.
I see. So even a simple toy can become complex with the right set of rules.
That's right. The rules used for Pagoda Stack are the simplest kind when it comes to ancient contraption-making techniques. I could spend some time picking out all those machines that do something similar and write you a reference book. Once that happens, you can give the volunteers the reference book and paper prototypes and find out which toy is the most popular.
Do you have any other toys?
Yeah! When can we play with them?
In about 2 days or so, I think. Anise, if you're free, can you help me with the illustrations for the reference book?
Of course! I'd be honored.
2 days should be enough for us to find more volunteers. Then we can organize a huge conference here, at which we can announce which toy we'll be making. You'd be most welcome. We need more people to get a healthy range of opinions. The more, the merrier.
Thank you for coming here with me today. I'll walk back with you.
Faruzan would probably be pretty good at making those puzzle things, puzzle boxes.
Is Madam Faruzan really going to mentor me? What an honor! I'm sure she'll say helping with illustrations isn't mentoring, so don't tell her I said that.
wonder she's so well respected at the academia. When I first saw her, I thought she might be unreliable because she's so young. Don't let her know I said that. Anise warned me about that before.
We need to wait 2 whole days before we get the new toys?
It might just be all reference stuff. It'll be a long time before we can play with the real toys.
Guess all we can do is play Genius Invocation TCG in the meantime.
Kids playing card games.
I'll be going then.
Crawley got
Say hi
into
to
the
Tainari
cooking
and
pot.
Kale for me if you can. Once everything here is settled, I'll make my way over to Pardistii as quickly as I can. You want to ask why I'm unwilling to join them, yes? Putting aside the fact that they're too full of themselves, I actually have no issue with their research methodologies and approach. After all, knowledge is either right or wrong. Superiority and inferiority do not come into the conversation. All researchers are just doing their best to shed light on the unknown in their respective fields of expertise.
That's not how it works in real life, at least on the internet, man. Knowledge is all about superiority with the people.
No matter what corner of the unknown they shed light on, it's a step forward for us all. Because I believe wholeheartedly in that principle. Even if the others call my research useless, as long as the knowledge I gain from it is accurate, it could become useful in the future. In the end, useful and useless are concepts that shouldn't be used to evaluate knowledge. When I first started deciphering ancient documents, I didn't think about how it'd be useful to Ksharawar. That's why there's no need for me to join them to do useful research. I'd rather stay in Haravatat. It's much more convenient for me to access the materials I need for my research here. Still, the funding that Ksharawar has offered me is so hard to get in Haravatat. Perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore Haravatat and ask for a higher budget directly from the academia.
Doesn't make any sense that they separate them into different schools and thought.
Oh, I could come up with lots of ideas. With Anise's help, 2 days will be enough for our work. However, I'm still undecided as to the style of the reference book's text and illustrations. You're right. Explanations are a core part of early developments, too. By using detailed and accurate illustrations, we can impart knowledge more effectively. It would also make it easier for me to recruit students. Thank you. I'll take your opinion into account. See you in 2 days.
Actually, wait in 2 days. Do I have to climb back up? I imagine I likely would. So we'll do that now. And I'll just float down to wherever I need to be. Which is this way, right? Yeah. We'll just wait here. Faruzan seems like a very reasonable character so far. Nothing dramatic. We haven't gone down her parody route. Usually there's a comical route in the 5 or 6. I knew it.
Oh, you're here. We're just starting to set up the venue.
We've called up everyone we possibly could have. This is going to be quite the event.
My masterpiece is going to be exhibited after all. Let's see what the academia shall say about it this time. To sum up, the 24 forms of pressure-based puzzle mechanisms were used in various ruins. All right, let's go to the next page.
Now, I'll explain the base layer design of elemental monuments.
Are we done yet? Oh, I'm falling asleep.
I don't understand any of it at all.
Are these really toys?
They sound a bit too dangerous to buy for children.
Oh.
Well, we've prepared paper prototypes for everyone. If you're interested in the mechanisms Madame Faruzan's talked about, you're more than welcome to try them out.
Oh, this is no fun. Can I try another toy?
I want to go home and play Genius Invocation TCG.
Forget it. I don't think anyone would be interested.
I should go home and take care of my children.
What a good excuse.
How did this happen? Forget about getting opinions from others. No one even wanted to stay and try them out.
I'm sorry. I think we miscalculated.
No, you simply gave suggestions. I was the one who decided to follow through. Anise, too, was only following my instructions. I will find a way to make up for this error. Please, give me some time. I'll write another reference book.
Excuse me, but are you the one who wrote this reference book?
Yes. Who are you?
Ah, you're that man Mountain who was in the crowd just now.
Do I stand out that much? Well, I guess I don't look like someone who'd have anything to do with toys. Let me introduce myself. I'm Kamal, the branch master of Sumeru's Adventurers Guild.
What's the branch master doing here? Were you looking for us, or did something happen?
I came to Port Ormos to visit some old friends. On the way over, I saw the booklet you were handing out, so I came to take a look. Can you print a few more copies of this booklet and sell them to the Adventurers Guild? Also, could you make full-fledged models of those paper prototypes and sell them to us as well?
What does the Adventurers Guild want with these toys?
You may see them as toys, but to adventurers who need to deal with all sorts of machines and contraptions within ancient ruins, this booklet is a true treasure. We have many members who can't read, so books are of little use to them. What they know of handling mechanisms has been learned solely through word of mouth. Even if the academia granted public access to all their books, there are people who can't use them.
Ah, and our booklet is practically all pictures.
Well, it is designed for children.
It might be a bit too difficult for children, but it's perfect for adventurers. Also, those paper strips, you called them paper prototypes?
Go away,
if
stranger,
you can make
go
wooden
away.
versions for demonstration purposes, even the most illiterate person would be able to follow along and understand. If we can supply a model set for each branch, and if each adventurer carries a booklet with them, then ruin exploration will become much safer.
You really think so? I mean, yes. I always knew it. Knowledge will always be needed, one way or another.
Making models of contraptions for the Adventurers Guild? To be honest, that sounds like a good avenue to explore to me.
We'll probably have to send in a separate application, but it shouldn't be an issue. After all, this concerns safety during the exploration of ruins. It's a problem that the academia is actually trying to address as well.
Then let's cut to the chase and discuss the details of our first order. The amount we're offering to pay in advance is this much.
Well, everyone needs cash, right? Okay, that looked like an easy split. Oh, that was the middle route. Okay, it was a failed reference book, so I guess you just want to make the pictures simpler? Yeah.
Never.
again.
I'll be going then.
He would
Say hi to
likely.
Tainari and
He
Kale
would
for me if you
likely
can.
die.
And Niece. We haven't had much time to get to know each other, but she seems like a good kid. She's able to calmly figure out the basic principles behind something without being influenced by others. I'll do my best to teach her over the next few days. Still, how much she learns will really depend on her. Well, her interest lies in the application of mechanisms. I do have some old knowledge to share, but if we think about the future, it's easier for her to learn the things she's interested in if she stays in Kasharawar. My research into mechanisms is, in a sense, a side effect of my research into ancient texts. If she becomes my student to learn how to make modern contraptions, it wouldn't benefit either of us in the long run. However, if she develops an interest in deciphering ancient texts over these next 2 days, that would change things. If I successfully poach a student, those young punks at Haravatat will have one less reason to cut my budget. Perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore Haravatat and ask for a higher budget directly from the academia. Oh, I could come up with lots of ideas. With Anissa's help, 2 days will be enough for our work. However, I'm still undecided as to the style of the reference book's text and illustrations.
Also, so far for her thing, we're in the same situation of we can't seemingly lose any hearts here. It's impossible to face defeat.
You're right. If no one understands the reference book, it doesn't matter how detailed it is. It's better to make it simpler and fun so that children will be interested in the subject. It'll also make it easier for me to recruit students in the long run. Thank you. I'll take your opinion into account. See you in 2 days.
I have to wait another 2 days now. Let's go revive our dumbass Kadehara. I mean, I guess I'm the dumbass, right? It's not his fault. Let's just time pass here. This is a lovely place to time pass, right? Dickety tockety. Gotta put Paimon to work. Yeah, actually, since we're hanging out with the characters, I'm kind of surprised that Paimon makes 0 appearances in these, or at least very minimal appearances in these. But I suppose it would take away from the traveler getting to know the characters.
Oh, you're here.
We've called up everyone.
And if we activate this little mechanism just like that, a Sumeru rose will appear at the top of the cane.
Oh, I see. I thought it came out of thin air. It's amazing.
If the mechanism was bigger, you could make a rabbit appear, right?
Then you can't use a cane. Could you switch it out with a hat or something?
You're applying what you learned creatively. Not bad. Let's look at the next page. If you fold an origami bird like this, it'll fly further and more stably.
Whoa. You can make a mechanism using just a piece of paper?
The principles at play are even more important than the parts that make up a mechanism.
These are pretty cool. I'm tempted to try them out.
I'm not that interested in toys, but if they'll be beneficial for children's development.
Everyone, we have paper prototypes and craft materials that you can use to make your own toys. Come try them out.
This is such a well-prepared event. I'll give it a go.
But we want to play too!
It's fine. We have a lot of paper prototypes and craft materials. All feedback is also welcomed.
Oh, my origami bird flew further this time.
Professor Faruzan, how can I make mine fly further?
Just madam will do. Maybe in the future, you may
indeed get the chance to call me Professor. You may wish to pay attention to these few details. Here, for example. All right, try it again.
Wow! It really did fly farther!
Madam Faruzan, will we learn origami at the Academia?
Of course you will. If you become a researcher, you can explore any field you like to your heart's content. In the future, if you want, you can even become one of my students.
But Mom and Dad said that there are 6 Darshans in the Academia. Wait, was it 7? Which Darshan teaches about mechanisms in origami?
Well, in this case, it wouldn't be Haravatat.
I know. We need to choose Kasharawar.
Huh?
I want to attend Kasharawar in the future and fold even better origami birds.
I want to make even more awesome mechanisms!
Actually, the other Darshans do have their own specialties, too. For example, Haravatat specializes in... Pay attention, children. Children? How did this happen?
What if we end up in a Darshan we don't like? Does that mean that we won't get to learn about the things we do like?
No, that won't happen. Take me, for example. I'm a researcher from Haravatat, but I research mechanisms, see? The only person able to restrict your curiosity as a researcher is you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Not really.
Huh. It's all right. You still have a long road ahead of you. Now, do you want to learn about some other machines? Let me tell you a story about pressure-based mechanisms and elemental monuments.
Oh, the vast differences you can have from just a subtle change. Yeah, not a technical manual anymore. There's no adventurer guy anywhere near there. Just happy kids. Alright, 2 more. And then we'll redeem our rewards. And probably call that a record session. There's other stuff I want to do today. And this was in solid 3 hours already.
What now?
So let's
Master
get
said
through
to
this.
make deal for But if I get her in trouble... But if someone does complain to the Academia, wouldn't it make Faruzan's situation more awkward? And if the Academia investigated and found her at Party's DI, things would get even worse for her. Do you have some way to invite her over to Party's DI without stepping on the Academia's toes? Okay then, I'm counting on you.
Such a worry work.
I have to teach students from Haravatat or owe Kasharawar a favor. It strikes me that they might be even less happy about such a deal than I am.
I think I can...
Madam Faruzan, we're back!
Well, since you're asking me so sincerely, let's just ignore the Academia and...
Please, Madam Faruzan, focus! Today's the deadline. Huh?
Yes. I see. No wonder he sent you 2 over. Why, that lad didn't make it very clear in his letter, now did he? Otherwise, I would have reported it as part of my research.
Yeah, that's right! Master sent us over to explain everything to you.
Wait. Opportunities for collaborative research don't just come out of thin air. This seems like too much of a coincidence. Also, there isn't much overlap between Madame Faruzan's research and that of Amorta, right? What will you even be collaborating on?
Master wants to research,
A fully automated irrigation system.
A fully automated irrigation system?
Precisely. It's a system that can automatically adjust the amount of water it provides based on the season and the plant species involved. I saw a similar mechanism while exploring a rune in the rainforest. That's why Tainari wanted to collaborate with me.
A mechanism like that exists? Why haven't I heard of it before?
I found it 100 years ago. so it's only natural that you don't know about it. Why don't you go ask your teacher's teacher? Perhaps they've heard about it from their teacher.
But we can't prove its existence one way or the other, right?
Fret not. I'll have Tainari write an official proposal to the Academia later. That should do it, right?
An official proposal. Fine. We haven't made any progress with either the collaborative project or the elective course anyway. I'll go inform my superiors now. Please do take care of the paperwork as soon as possible. Don't delay this any longer.
Sure. I'll be sure to needle him until he gets it done. Phew. I think she bought it. Even though this is our first meeting, I must say, we make a good team.
Wow! You made up that excuse on the spot, huh? Madam Faruzan, did you really find an irrigation system 100 years ago? If the Academia asks for any details...
Who knows? It's been 100 years, so it wouldn't be too surprising if I've forgotten a few details, no?
Huh? Then how will we explain things to them?
I'll let Tainari worry about whatever documents we might need to send to the Academia. If I'm right, the request he has in store for me won't be any simpler than the Academia nonsense.
Genius. Alright, now for our party DI adventures.
Master, we're back! Huh? Where did he go?
You don't have to shout. I can hear you. Well, you got here much faster than I expected. I thought you'd have a lot more business to take care of.
Thanks to the Traveler, I was able to, pawn off various problems of mine onto others.
Onto others? What does that mean?
We can discuss that later. You're looking for me because of the thing you mentioned in the letter, right?
That's right. Please, follow me.
Ah, we're dealing with the robot.
A monster? Why is there a monster here?
She doesn't
Don't
know
be scared,
about it.
Kale. This is the mechanical life form the Traveler and I saved a while back. Its name is Karkata. It's the final work of a late junior of mine.
You mean Abatui? He must have been a genius to create one of such polish all by himself. It's uncommon that a Spontamod researcher is able to create such an intricate machine. If he were still around, we could probably chat the day away. What a shame. Something seems wrong here. Have you been maintaining it? Mechanical life forms are much more fragile than they look.
Is Karkata sick?
Karkata has been lying down like this since a few days ago. It could be an old malfunction acting up again. I've taken a few courses conducted by Spontamod before, so I've managed to perform some passable repairs on Karkata's energy supply module. However, it seems the issue this time is with its transmission. My knowledge can only prevent its condition from deteriorating any further. But Madam Faruzan, you should be able to find a way to repair it.
Not necessarily. Mechanical life forms are created using techniques from alchemy, elemental science, and more. There are multiple modules here that influence each other. A simplistic knowledge of mechanisms will not serve here. You know that as well. Each mechanical life form is very different from the next. So even I cannot be sure if my understanding of mechanical life forms is going to be of any use to our little crab friend here.
Karkata.
Can you all go outside for a minute? I need a bit of space. Before I do a thorough check, everything we've just said is but conjecture.
All right. We're counting on you, Madame Faruzan.
Who knew that I'd encounter a mechanical life form in this manner after 100 years?
They're all over the place, Faruzan. They're everywhere.
I didn't know mechanical life forms could get sick too. You have to get better soon, Karkata.
We'll wait here till Faruzan finishes her inspection. In the meantime, I'd like to talk to you about her. Her past, huh? Quite a few people in the academia know about what happened to her. Perhaps it'd be best if I'm the one to tell you. I've told you before that she had disappeared for 100 years, right? From her perspective, trapped might be a more apt description. Her exact words were,
That ruin was crawling with traps and coded inscriptions from wall to wall. I did all I could to decipher the code and deactivate the traps to escape the ruin, but there was no way out. I lost track of time and I ran out of pen and paper. In the end, I had to use stone shards to write on the walls and on the floor to decipher the code. Then, before I realized it, I ran out of space on the walls and floor. I had to calculate all the possibilities in my mind. After that, my memory started to become fuzzy, and my cognition slowed down.
she doesn't remember anything else, including the location of the ruin and how she finally managed to escape. When she was found in the outskirts of Sumeru a few years ago, she looked exactly the same as she did 100 years prior. However, she was in a stupor and struggled to form sentences. Only after a lengthy recovery period could she speak again. The academia speculates that she must have gotten trapped in an unknown ruin while researching machines a century ago. And because of the ruin's special properties that halted her aging, she was able to use those 100 years to crack the trapping mechanism and then escape. Though she had finally broken free, 100 years had passed. Everyone she knew and everyone who knew her was already gone. In the end, even the academia had to rely on century-old records in the Akasha to confirm her existence. Don't make that face. I'm not telling you this because I want to drum up sympathy. She wouldn't want others to pity her because of past events. Rather, she sees that period of entrapment as an experimental error. As a researcher, she must accept everything that results from her experiments, even if they don't fall within expectations. Even after going through so much, she's returned to Sumeru and still hasn't given up on her research. Due to changes over the years and drift in academic subjects, she holds some rather strong opinions about the current academia, and she has no shortage of detractors herself. What I want to say is that no matter what era we're in, Faruzan is a true senior researcher, in every sense of the word. She has her own deep understanding of various ruins and machines. If there's a chance, you should talk about them with her. It'll definitely be helpful for your journey.
Master, Madame Faruzan's done.
Oh, let's head over. With any luck, she might have figured something out.
I never thought that I'd encounter a restitution module once again after 100 years. Abatui really installed quite a few impressive things on this. If my guess is correct, this mechanical life form has displayed attempts at self-sustenance before, right? Such as collecting parts to repair itself, for instance?
It used them for something else, but as far as its design goes, it does have a function like that.
I knew it. If I'm not wrong, Karkata's issue lies with its restitution module. Abatui's modified this module extensively, but the core parts and design philosophy are very similar to the principles as I know them. They are all based on principles learned from the ruins. The creators of the ruins machine once tried to create a perpetual mechanism that could replace life or even surpass it. The restitution module is the result of one of their countless attempts. It replicates the behavior of living things to achieve a self-repair function, However, the energy required in maintenance of the module became an issue.
Energy consumption? Maintenance?
For example, a living thing's heart can deliver nutrients and blood to various organs. However, the bigger the living thing, the more powerful the heart needs to be. Once the heart is damaged, it'll be hard for that living thing to heal itself, and even the function of other organs can be affected. Thus, the attempt wasn't widely adopted. Even 100 years ago, I'd only seen it once before. Oh dear, this is going to be a problem. Based on my current research, I'll need to swap out the damaged parts in the restitution module to repair Karkata. But like I just said, the module is rare, even by the standards of ancient machines. Not only that, but there is very little related research documentation available. Finding suitable parts would be like trying to find a single gear in the vast desert, to say nothing of the difficulty in making those parts from scratch. One can only wonder where Abatui found the original parts.
I might have an idea. Abatui was, for a time, quite passionate about excavating the Great Red Sand. This was when he had just gotten expelled from the academia.
You mean to say he found a restitution module in the desert? Well, that is indeed possible.
But the desert's huge! How are we supposed to find the parts that Karkata needs?
According to the Academia's records, no similar parts have been found in the Great Red Sand over the past 100 years. If we want to try our luck, we'll have to explore ruins that have never been explored before.
I do know that a Vahumana researcher formed an expedition team after the sandstorms and earthquakes subsided. They are now exploring areas of the desert that used to be difficult to access.
Should we ask them if they've made any new discoveries lately?
The chances are slim, but it's at least more effective than running around like headless chickens.
His name is Raid. I think he's stationed at the northeast part of the Hypostyle Desert. Let's go look for him once Karkata settles down.
Oh, you and Kale should probably stay. Karkata's condition may be stable, but it would still be better if some of us stay to look after it. Besides, you still need to take care of the trouble that the Academia left for me.
Trouble from the Academia? I thought you said that you pawned it off to someone else. Wait. Don't tell me.
I'll let Kale fill you in on the details. I look forward to seeing your work, Tainari.
Outplayed, outskilled, outmaneuvered.
A fully automated irrigation system. That's quite the task.
Master, can I help with anything at all? I can go buy things, prepare pen and paper.
Oh, you know, I seem to remember that you have a lot of homework today.
Huh? Oh, yeah, I do.
Well, hurry up and finish it so you can sleep early, or Faruzan will worry. That's the best thing you can do now to help.
Oh, okay.
Well, we don't have to worry about that. Get all these unclaimed waypoints in this unexplored desert, but we will inch through, slowly getting through all of this content, and then back to exploring occasionally, eventually. Wow, how convenient, man. Can I talk to you? Cutscene.
What is this?
Halt! Mr. Raid's permission is required to proceed any further. That still won't do. Mr. Raid told us to keep people away from the ruins so they don't damage the site.
Damage the site? I've excavated more ruins than you visited restaurants. Which batch of students is Raid from? I want to see him right now.
He isn't at the campsite now. You should all leave. Only he can give you permission to enter.
What a stubborn guy. You're right. Even if there is new information, we still have to wait for him to come back so we can ask him about it. So let's just see what we can find out from the people here. I'm going to give that Raid a good talking to when he gets back. Starting from who in the world mentored you?
Halt! Mr. Raid's permission is required to proceed any further.
Well, shit, fam. I just can't go up there.
Mr.
Fine.
That machine looks amazing. Could it be the legendary Ruin Wanderer? The location seems to fit too. Might that legend actually be true?
It's just a ruined drake, my guy. They're all over the place.
The ruins? Don't know anything. We were only hired to deliver water and supplies to them. Forget excavation. They won't even let us get close to the camp where they're staying.
Aren't those enemies? They're just right next to these guys here.
This area used to be ravaged by frequent sandstorms, but it's been calm lately for some reason. They say that this was done by a single traveler? But seriously, is such a thing even humanly possible?
I know they're just reusing that character model, but they're all in a desert. Don't they have limited supplies? It's just harder to believe there would be a large-bodied guy.
Is there anything that stands out to you?
I wasn't paying attention, man.
Ruin Wanderer. That's the first time I've heard that name. But that wreckage did seem a bit weird. It's a bit far away, and I can't really say for sure from this distance. Perhaps we should ask the villager from before about the legend first.
Huh? What are you guys doing back here? I wouldn't blame you for not knowing about it, youngsters. After all, it's a tale that's over a decade old.
Did they change his voice actor over the course of his previous line and then these lines?
It's said that this monster, the Ruin Wanderer, traversed through various ruins for centuries. Many adventurers had claimed to see it while exploring. Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast. However, none knew why it wandered the ruins. Then, about 10 years ago, we stopped hearing any news about it in Sumeru. No one has seen it since then, and the legend has since faded into memory. You youngsters probably don't know about the Ruin Wanderer nowadays, but it was famous for centuries.
Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then. It could only have been around for a few decades at most.
Wait, back then?
Indulge my curiosity for a moment. Why do you think that wreckage is the Ruin Wanderer?
Well, I had also heard that secondhand from...
You heard that nonsense from the Eremites after they got drunk, right?
Who are you?
Madam Faruzan, it is a pleasure. I'm Raid, the one who organized this archaeological expedition. I'd heard of you at the Academia, but I didn't expect to run into you here. Truly, it is an honor. And this must be the famous traveler, I presume. What brings the two of you here?
Have you found any special contraptions and relics in the ruins that you've been investigating?
I'm ashamed to say that we haven't found anything noteworthy, even though we've been investigating for a while now.
Really? That Ruin Wanderer isn't noteworthy to you?
I'm afraid those are mere rumors. Really, I sometimes wish that those people would put as much effort into their work as they do into gossiping.
You're right, sir. I'll get back to work now.
The wise do not buy into rumors, so it is said. I believe that you too, Madam Faruzan, do not put any stock into such baseless talk.
It is also said that real knowledge shall come from practice. I can help you research the excavated relics and see if I can find out anything new about them. You can take credit for any new discoveries. I believe this offer to be sufficiently attractive.
In truth, I could ask for nothing better than your help with our research. However, you two must be tired after a long journey. I'd feel bad if I set you to work immediately. It's getting late, and my subordinates and I are heading back to the camp to rest. Why don't you find a place to spend the night first? We can continue our discussion tomorrow.
There are tents over there that the villagers occasionally use to rest. The condition is a bit simple, yes, but I hope you won't mind.
Since you need to rest as well, let's do just that.
Yes, we're resting. Wait, this guy, is he gonna yell at me now? We just talked to Raid. I'm just curious. You son of a
halt,
bitch.
Mr. Raid's.
Fuck you, sir. Alright. Ugh.
There's a tent that the villagers occasionally use to rest.
This is quite far away. Are they trying to prevent the villagers from eavesdropping on them? This suits us just fine, though. This way, they won't overhear our conversations either. Now, I have my suspicions about this archaeological expedition team and that machine wreckage. I only caught a quick glimpse, and it was from a distance. But based on the condition of the armor and joints, it didn't seem like something that had been lying around for centuries. At most, I'd estimate that it only stopped moving about a dozen years ago. Yes, the timing coincides with the spreading of the legend. Now, assuming that it really is the Ruin Wanderer, how do you suppose it was able to maintain a relatively good condition despite high-intensity operation over the course of several decades? That's right. Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. However, I'm basing my knowledge on the mechanical life forms I've seen before. Well, this was over 100 years ago. It was a machine about the same size as Karkata, actually. It couldn't carry heavy objects or fight, and was only able to help me record some notes. It also helped me deliver letters home. I found it near the desert, which is why I wondered if there might be more restitution modules buried around here. Honestly, people in ancient times might have already solved the problem of providing enough power for all I know. I'll need to research this properly. Had I confronted Raid right there and then, he would have said that he couldn't tell that the machine was special. Then he'd just hand it over to the Academia obediently, and he'd get away scot-free. If the wreckage were to be handed to the Academia, it'd be much tougher for us to do research on it or get spare parts for Karkata. Anyway, we should figure out what they're planning before making our next move. They insisted that we should stay the night, which means if they're trying to pull a fast one on us, they're likely to try tonight. We must be vigilant. Are those sounds coming from the excavation site? I knew they wouldn't be able to wait. They must be scared that we might discover something tomorrow. Not a single person guarding the campsite. This must be quite the manpower expenditure. I'll see if they left any clues behind at their camp. Keep watch and help me stall them if it comes to that, would you? All right. I'm counting on you.
Is this gonna be random combat with Faruzan?
Time to go.
And if they didn't want us here, why the fuck did they invite her here?
Why isn't the tent here yet? We need to switch it out tonight.
It's still on the way. I'm afraid this is the first time we're delivering such a huge one.
You good-for-nothings are just a load of trouble, aren't you? We wouldn't have to deal with these interlopers if you had kept those lips of yours from flapping. Hurry up and hide our current tent and deliver the new one to me tonight, no matter what it takes.
Huh? Who's there?
I'm sorry. I'm just a bit upset because my subordinates aren't doing their jobs properly. When did you get here?
It's nothing. Just a tent. We didn't pack up all our tents from the last campsite. Some of them, along with a few people, have been left there. Someone damaged our current tent, so I'm trying to get my subordinates to get one from that previous campsite delivered here. The relics in the ruins are highly valuable, so I'm worried that treasure hoarders and bandits might try to steal them. Since the tent isn't here yet and I can't fall asleep, I came here to patrol. Well, these things are antiques after all. There will always be people interested in buying them. I hired so many people precisely because I was worried about that happening. Speaking of which, I'd like to ask, is the Academia really aware that you've traversed through the desert to come here in the middle of the night? Also, where's Faruzan? Why isn't she with you?
I'm right here. Also, you forgot to address me as Madam.
Sorry, Madam Faruzan.
You were all making so much noise that I couldn't sleep, which is why I got the Traveler to find out what was going on. But for some reason, that one task took forever, so I came to check in on the situation.
I'm very sorry for disturbing your rest. I'll tell my subordinates to be quieter on patrol.
Good. Come on, Traveler. Let's head back. Yes, we came to check out the situation, didn't we? Well, we've already done that. We should get better rest so that we'll have energy to investigate tomorrow.
Was I mistaken?
Sorry for disturbing your rest. I'll tell my
Yeah, be quiet, you bunch of noisy good-for-nothings.
Thanks for dealing with them. Now, I found something good on my end. These are the excavation records from their campsite. According to them, the ruins have been raided before, with numerous traps and contraptions having already been triggered. I also observed the wreckage up close earlier. The weathering is nowhere near as extensive as on the relics that have been buried for over 100 years. There's no doubt that the wreckage in the ruins don't belong to the same era. Instead, it must have wandered into the ruins about a dozen years ago. It could have fallen into a trap or encountered a glitch within the ruins, remaining stationary like that until it was discovered recently. However, I still don't know why they'd want to hide it. I have no doubt that the researcher could definitely reach the same conclusion I did. The last few pages of the excavation records are written in code, which I still need time to decipher. The answer may lie within those pages. It's just wordplay. And if anything, that's my wheelhouse. Just a bit more. Ah, I see now.
Help! Please help! Why are you running away? Come back! Protect me!
What's that sound? Is it? The Ruin Wanderer? Reactivated? That's impossible! Is this the work of some kind of hidden mechanism? Never mind. We have to focus on saving lives first. I'll cover them. You go stall the Ruin Wanderer. What? It ignored the Traveler?
Why is it chasing after us?
What could have caused it to reactivate? It to give chase?
Darn it! Hey, come on, you lot! It's clear that we can't escape, so let's just attack it!
It stopped?
Hey, you guys, get up there and tell me what's going on.
But what if it suddenly moves?
You good-for-nothings. Why is everyone I hired so useless? Move! I'll do it myself. Looks like this thing's parts can't handle the load of functioning anymore after years of disrepair. When it first reactivated, I was wondering if it'd be as amazing as the legends had pegged it to be. I didn't expect it to be so much weaker than it looks. How disappointing.
Disappointing, you say? Now, is that because you won't be able to sell it for much?
Faruzan, you may be my senior as an academia researcher, but that doesn't mean you get to slander me.
You wrote these excavation records, did you not? Or perhaps calling it a ledger might jog your memory a bit better.
I don't recognize that thing.
January 3rd, excavated 5 tents. January 5th, 3 tents sold. January 10th, 1 special tent pre-sold. It must quickly be switched out with an old tent. You're supposed to be an archaeological expedition team, and yet here you are, secretly selling the relics and profiting from it. When you believed that you had found the wreckage of the Ruin Wanderer, you tried to switch in wreckage that you had excavated previously to pull the wool over the Academia's eyes. After all, there would probably be many wealthy buyers interested in purchasing the legendary Ruin Wanderer in the black market, yes? And then we arrived just before you could finish your work.
Always appreciate a cameo from, Duneball Coon.
That forced you to speed up your plan, and you tried to complete the switch overnight before I could investigate the wreckage. In your haste, however, you accidentally activated the Ruin Wanderer instead. Did I get that all right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You lack the curiosity befitting a man of knowledge, nor do you have respect for mechanical life forms. You're not fit to be a researcher.
Ridiculous. Curiosity? Respect? I'm not here to hear you preach. Hey, we're leaving.
Mr. Raid!
Behind you? Why is it moving again? Run!
Some said that it was like a giant, while others said that it was like a beast. However, none knew why it wandered the ruins.
Technically speaking, the module shouldn't be able to move such a large machine chassis. However, I'm basing my knowledge on the mechanical life forms I've seen before. Centuries? Impossible. I heard nothing about it back then. It could only have been around for a few decades at most.
Why is it chasing after us?
So you've been looking for me this whole time? Long time no see, Tamimi.
Tamimi.
Dear Faruzan, I hope you're doing well. It has been over 20 years since you went missing. People from the academia keep telling us to give up and that you're most likely dead. But somehow, I feel like you're still alive. Yes, that you live still in some corner of this world. You've always been persistent, able to shine no matter what situation you face. I believe that this persistence serves you well in surviving and finding your way home. Unfortunately, I likely won't be able to welcome you home when you do. I don't have much time left, and my reflexes have slowed. Others keep telling me to stop exploring ruins. Only Tamimi is still the same as before, always running off to places which you've been to. Your teacher and friends came up with an idea to remodel Tamimi, so it can search for you in our place. You didn't like coming home back then and would always get Tamimi to send a letter back. Now we're leaving a letter with Tamimi. I wonder if it'll ever be delivered to you. I don't know the answer to that question, but if you ever read this letter, I hope it'll be when you've already found your way home. I regret not being able to say this to you myself, but I'll still feel sincerely happy for you, my dear daughter.
Welcome home, Faruzan. Look at you, Tamimi. You've changed so much after all these years. Thank you for waiting for me all this time. I've safely received the letters. Your work is done now. You can sleep. Tamimi, the mechanical life form I encountered back then. When I would go on expeditions, it would follow me, take notes for me, and send my letters home. When I met with that accident, it was on the way to deliver a letter for me. I once thought that I'd never get to see it again. I didn't expect my teacher and others to remodel its self-repair function, upgrading it to self-learning. And so, in order to plumb the depths of unknown ruins and overcome dangerous traps, it repaired and modified itself using parts it found along the way. One decade of wandering became many, and soon, Tamimi, which used to be incapable of even moving heavy objects, became the Ruin Wanderer. All so it could deliver these last letters from them to me. The strain to support such a huge body must have turned out to be too much for your heart, right? Even after the remodeling, its restitution module still can't function perfectly in perpetuity. It has been pushing itself beyond its limits over the past few decades. Just like a living being, mechanical life forms have a limited lifespan. It probably became trapped in the ruins all those years ago because its shelf life had run out. It most likely only reactivated because it detected my presence. And then it mustered up everything it had to deliver that last letter. Now, it can finally rest in peace. Tainari told you what happened to me, right? You don't have to apologize. It's not like this incident is a secret in the academia. Besides, I've always treated it as a failed experiment. As a researcher, I must accept this result. However, finding out that so many people were affected by my failure does make me feel somewhat conflicted. Can you head back to Pardis DI first? We've been here for a while, and it's best not to make Kale and the rest worry. As for me, I want to stay with Tamimi for a bit longer. Just a bit.
Not just gonna leave you in the desert. Oft corrected note. But because they had to like scribble out a bunch of stuff. Pretty lucky. There's an achievement for that, huh? Pretty lucky of her. To have any sort of closure on the situation. There's always two achievers tied to these things. We got the other one earlier. So now we have both. Read all the letters sent to Faruzan. We're not even done yet. There's still one more ending to discover.
You're back!
I'm back.
Ah, how was your journey through the desert? Wait, where's Madame Faruzan?
I ditched her. The partial truth.
So, Madame Faruzan has some other things to settle. All right. And to think that Raid was doing all those things on the sly. It's good that you all got out of that situation in one piece.
Madame Faruzan will be able to repair Carcata when she gets back, won't she?
Wait until a day later? Oh, their favorite mechanic. The waiting mechanic. Which still mechanically confuses the crap out of me. Why? That's a thing.
I'm back! What? Is there to be no welcoming party? Madame Faruzan, we're over here! That's more like it. Now, here are some components I brought back from the desert. Switch these out with the ones Carcata is using right now, and it'll be back in ship shape.
So this is a relic of an ancient civilization. Unbelievable. Thankfully, it didn't end up in Raid's unscrupulous hands.
Unscrupulous, huh? Sounds like you already told them what happened. Is that so? Thank you. We will talk about everything else later. It's nothing. I've already given all the evidence we have against Raid to the Academia. They're going to be very busy. Too busy to bother us, I'd wager. I'll start repairing Carcata then. Kale, can you help me out? Of course!
That was weird.
It looks fine, but even so, it needs to properly rest up.
It's a robot, Kale. What's it resting for?
Faruzan went out after repairing Carcata. She seems to be looking for you for some reason. Well, I will not probe any further. However, if you need any help, do feel free to ask.
Me? Need help? Never. You know, there's an idea that they haven't messed with. You could do it for all of the character interactions too. The traveler needing help and getting helped. Nobody helps the traveler who helps everybody else.
Ah, you're here. Thank you for keeping Tamimi a secret. If I tell them about Tamimi, will they still feel happy for Carcata? Even if we could convince them to accept the components, they'll probably still feel bad about it. I don't want my past to affect people in the present. That applies to both me and other people. It's fine. I'm used to this. I once believed that I'd never hear from my old friends and family ever again. Even their faces are getting hazier in my memories. However, I could remember them clearly again after reading the letter Tamimi handed to me and learning that they'd never given up on me. That's more than enough. I'd be disappointing them if I let myself fall into a slump because of this. Neither my teacher nor my mother would have wanted to see me like that. Besides, you're lending a listening ear to me now, aren't you? Oh, Pardees GI looks pretty scenic at night. Will you take a stroll with me?
It would be my pleasure.
Once Carcata's condition stabilizes, I'll find a chance to tell Tainari and Kale about all that. But for now, just help me keep this secret.
I will do nothing.
Thank you. Whether it's 100 years ago or now, I have people who worry about me. I suppose I should consider myself quite fortunate. The only time when I felt otherwise was when I had just returned to Sumeru. No one came to check up on me then. Yeah, I'm home.
What do you think they've hidden in this big garden? Definitely not a robot. Alright, one more of these things. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. The split is here, huh? Also,
there are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them.
I'm not gonna run
hear
through the dialogue differences, but it seems like that one would be drastically different if you tell them or don't. Unless that split is right here. Because they still want us to be in this area, so that must be where the split is, telling them. Instead of not mentioning Tamimi.
You're back!
Ah, how would...
Oh, yeah, I guess we have to. That was the only other sub option.
Oh no. She finally got to reunite with an old friend from 100 years ago. But...
As a researcher, she could perhaps accept it. However, as a friend, student, and a daughter, we should give her some time. Let's just wait for her here. And in the future, I hope that we can be here to support her as her new friends.
Damn it, Mihoyo. One more once, we must wait. We really gotta put their splits after these points instead of before.
I'm back! What?
We've all been waiting for you, Madame Faruzan.
That's more like it.
Excuse me.
Here are some components I brought back from the desert. Switch these out with the ones Karkata is using right now, and it'll be back in ship shape. Huh? Why do you all look so solemn? Come now. Liveliness befits youngsters more. Madame Faruzan, did these parts come from... Come now. I thought that you must have encountered some major problem. This isn't something you have to worry about. Well, it looks like you already know everything, but no need to feel bad. Like I said before, as researchers, we must learn to accept our failures. Tamimi had been operating beyond capacity for a century, and I'm unable to repair it with my current abilities. Not even with these parts. It would thus be much better to use them to extend Karkata's lifespan. As a senior, it is only right that I do something for the people who come after me. That holds true for both researchers and machines. Besides, I didn't say that I would be giving you these parts for free. They will only be used for Karkata temporarily. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to help me with my research. I'll be sure to revive Tamimi once I've fully deciphered and replicated the creations of the ancient civilization.
All right. I'll do my best to help.
Me too. Although, I'm not sure if I'll be much help. Thank you. If they could remodel Tamimi successfully even back then, there's no reason why we won't be able to do even better. And when that day comes, I'll be sure to say, welcome home, Tamimi.
No, there's three. How bizarre. Ah, right. Unlock all the endings. Duh. Do we have a post? Oh, they all disappeared. No post. No post. No post. Alright. Delicious. So, we are done with Faruzan. We will do these slowly over time, I suppose, the next time I play. Will be whenever the next event is happening. I'm gonna off-screen this one, because it's just battling and I don't feel like doing it right now. And we'll do Riley's chapter as well. I'll see about doing a session. Maybe do Riley's chapter and another do Layla's thing. He's outside now, huh? That's new. Anyway, maybe we'll do Riley's chapter before the next major update so that he's not locking anything like Tainari ended up doing, or it was Al-Haytham or somebody did. So maybe we'll get them out of the way. I don't know when the next major update is. Probably at the end of the month. It's not what I wanted. I used these to tell. Yeah, it's not the end of the month. It's mid next month, mid-November. I'm gonna be probably slightly busy-ish, but we'll see. We'll find time to get it done.
Is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer.
If only I had a better angle though, to show off the area. We can't zoom out. Anyway, that's all for me. Thanks for watching. We'll do some more Genshin next time I get around to it. So, hope you all have a good one.